It's a gorgeous Saturday afternoon from 1,000 Oaks, California, as the Santa Barbara Foresters continue their road trip to take on the defending CCL champions, the Conejo Oaks. And we welcome you to Sparky Anderson Field on the campus of Cal Lutheran. I'm Hunter Shumick alongside Nate Martin. Well, Nate, yesterday was highlighted by superb pitching for the Santa Barbara Foresters when they won 4-0 in their season opener, and they look to continue that here this afternoon.
Hunter, there's no better feeling in sports than 1-0, and that's what the Foresters have that feel right now. They relied on the pitching of Hudson Barrett and Frank Camarillo, both UC Santa Barbara Gauchos, and that continues today. Showing love to Andrew Checkett's side out of the Big West. AJ Crodell will be on the bump today for Santa Barbara, and I'm really excited to see him. He's got a 4-pitch mix. I'm sure we'll get to that in the bottom of this first inning. Unchanged lineup for the most part from Bill Pintard's side. Only one change, subbed out Vincent Gambardella to bring in Grant Madrid Murray at catcher. And I'm really excited to see, if this lineup can get a little quicker here. Had a bit of a slow start in the first few innings. Let's see how they handle the Conejo Oaks pitching staff today.
And here is the lineup for the Sturs. Maddox Mandino will lead off in center field. To bat second, the shortstop Sawyer Farr. Batting third, the third baseman Easton Muma. Batting fourth, the DH Caleb Hoover. In the 5-hole and at first base, Brady Dallimore. To bat sixth, the right fielder Brenton Clark. To bat seventh and at second base, Easton Ruley. In the 8-hole, the catcher Grant Madrid Murray. And the 9-hole hitter in left field, Makani Navarro. And of course, AJ Crodell will get the start on the hill for Bill Pintard. Not a cloud in the sky from Thousand Oaks. Just about 75 degrees. The wind's coming in off the left, blowing pole to pole, left to right. And here comes Maddox Mandino, who bats from the left side. And he's going to be facing a lefty on the hill, Val Castrol, who gets the start for the Conejo Oaks. Here comes the first pitch to Mandino. It's going to be a fastball missing down and in, ball one.
Yeah, Valor Castrol, 6'2", lefty, slower velo. That fastball is only going to reach up to around 80, 82 miles an hour. Got a couple off-speed pitches as well.
Now the 1-0 pitch to Mandino, swing and a miss for strike number one.
Mandino, pretty decent day on the hitting side last night. Got a couple RBIs in that 9th inning to really seal the win for Santa Barbara, taking advantage of some clutch hitting with runners on.
Yeah, it came in the 9th inning, big base hit into center field. Now the 1-1 to the leadoff batter, off-speed pitch, and it's going to be a swing and a miss from Mandino. 1-2.
And that's really what you're going to expect from Castrol. He's not going to blow you away with his velocity. Really take advantage of those off-speed pitches, which do have some pretty solid movement.
It's now ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man, just underway here in the first. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that is down. Mandino's able to lay off of it well. 2-2 to the leadoff man, then Farr, and then Muma in this opening inning for Santa Barbara.
Good job laying off the off speed after swinging at it the pitch before.
The southpaw winds up the 2-2 pitch, and this is tapped down the first baseline and rolls past the Storster dugout down the first baseline. And here at Sparky Anderson Field on the campus of Cal Lutheran, a very nice field, some nice rolling hills in the distance, some nice trees peppered beyond the outfield fence. Good battle between Mandino and Castro. And another 2-2 to the leadoff man. Here it comes. Swing and a miss on the curveball, and Castro will retire Mandino one away in the first.
Great off-speed pitch. You just had a sense that I was almost coming. I mean, he's got a couple swing and misses on the off-speeds, couple foul tips, and that time just unable to find the bat and strikes out.
Mandino on his way back to the first base dugout gives a scouting report to Easton Muma, who stands now on deck. But the batter will now be the switch hitter, Sawyer Farr. Stands in, one away, and the base is cleared. Just underway in the opening inning. And the lefty Castro, first pitch to Sawyer. It's going to be a fastball missing. Note, going to find the bottom half of the zone for strike one.
Sawyer Farr, another solid day. Got on base a couple of times. Scored a run in the 7th inning of last night's performance.
Went 1 for 3 in the season opener last night. Here's the next pitch. Check swing got knotted up, but he did go around, it looked like. So it will be strike 2 on Farr. And when you look back to that game last night, the Stars had 6 hits, but only 2 given up by Frank Camarillo and Hudson Barrett. What a day it was for the pitchers.
What a day it was indeed. The Riptide offense could get nothing going yesterday.
Farr falls behind, 0-2. Here comes the next pitch, and he went around. No, he did not on the appeal down the first base umpire. Just able to lay off of it. That ball was in the dirt, and Farr was able to take ball 1.
And that's what you get with Sawyer Farr. Strong discipline at the plate. Had an OBP above 350 at Texas A&M this past year.
Did work a walk yesterday along with that hit that he collected in the 7th inning. Now the 1-2 to Sawyer, and that is down in the dirt. Spiked by Val Castro, the southpaw who hails from Agoro Hills. Not too far from here where we are in Thousand Oaks. It's been quite the road trip. First, I should say the second of 6 games that the Stars will be playing on the road to start off their season. With 1 out, base is clear. Here comes the 2-2 to Farr. That's in the dirt on a curveball. Full count to Sawyer.
Castro's really looking to work that lower part of the plate. He's had a couple pitches recently wind up in the dirt, hoping to try and get it back in the zone on this full count pitch.
Castro struck out the first man he faced. Easton Muma will be next, but the switch hitter Farr has a full count, and the southpaw winds up the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the breaking ball and then retired down at first base. Galloway throws down to Stillwell, the first baseman. Farr retired. 2 strikeouts for Val Castro to start his outing.
Yeah, a little different than what the Foresters were facing yesterday. Didn't really strike out too much against the Riptide. Castro this time having a little bit more, some of that more swing and miss stuff compared to the Riptide pitching staff from last night.
And now here's Easton Muma. Standing 2 out, bases clear. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be down for ball 1. Muma last night went 1 for 2. Also 2 walks in the contest against OC. The Stars shut out the Riptide in their first game of this very young season. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Muma, and he taps it and off his foot. There's a fastball, 1-1.
Yeah, Muma did a good job of getting on base, forcing some longer at-bats. I think that's going to serve him well against a pitcher like Castro, someone who is really looking to get pitches on the corners, try and paint a picture and get some swing and miss stuff.
And here comes the 1-1 to Easton, and it's going to miss down. Looked like the slider that time from Castro. 2-1 to Muma, who's batting third in this Foresters lineup. Exactly where he was last night down in Orange County. 2 out, the 2-1 pitch. Fastball into shallow center field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. The 2-out knock for Easton Muma to continue this opening inning.
And that's just what Easton Muma does, get base hits. Ending the season at UT Rio Grande Valley on a 14-game hitting streak for the Vaqueros. Had a hit last night, had a hit today, so that's a 16-game hitting streak now for Muma.
16 straight for Easton. That's going to bring up the DH today, Caleb Hoover, who found himself defensively at first base last night. but a 2-out base runner. And here comes the first pitch on a lefty-lefty matchup. And it's going to be in there the first pitch for a strike, 0-1.
Hoover, a really impressive hitter. Had one of the best slugging percentage among JUCO players this past season at Grayson College.
Here comes the next pitch, and it's down in the dirt on a curveball, covered up well by Jacob Galloway, the catcher. And the Sturs wearing their traditional dark blue tops, gray bottoms today. And what do we describe the Conejo Oaks tops today?
It kind of looks like the blue you get in a Powerade bottle.
Very nice baby blue, powder blue, something like that for Conejo with white bottoms. But now the 1-1 to Hoover. Big swing and a miss. The fastball got him swinging. It's now 1-2 to Caleb.
Put all of his power into that one. 16 home runs this past season for Grayson College.
Man at first, 2 out here in the opening inning. The lefty winds up the 1-2 pitch to Hoover. Swing and a miss. The fastball got him swinging. Castro strikes out 3 after a 2-out knock by Easton Mumon. We go to the bottom half of the inning, and out to the hill goes A.J. Crodell for the Santa Barbara Foresters when we return in Thousand Oaks.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back on the campus of Cal Lutheran. No score going to the bottom of the first inning. A.J. Crodell, the right-hander who just finished his sophomore year with UC Santa Barbara, will get the start in the second game of the season for the Sturs.
And if the Santa Barbara success of last night is any indication of what that Gaucho pitching staff can produce, could be some good news for the Foresters. Of course, a complete game shutout across 2 pitchers last night. Crodell working with a 4-pitch mix himself here, a fastball, changeup, slider, and curveball. Very excited to see how he handles himself on the mound. Another tall pitcher from the Gauchos as well, 6'4". Of course, Barrett and Camarillo both stand around 6'4", 6'5" as well. So clearly something that the manager over there, Andrew Checketts, really likes.
With UCSB this past year, AJ, 11 appearances rather, and a 3-2 record for the right-hander. So he's going to face Daniel Wicks, Galloway, and Smith, the top 3 for Conejo. No score in the bottom of the first. Conejo so far this year have gone 2-0. One of those games was a non-CCL game, but the first pitch will be a fastball at 91, down and away, ball 1.
Daniel Wicks, the hitter right now, very familiar with this ballpark, plays his college ball for Cal Lutheran.
He did go 2 for 3 yesterday. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a high fastball foul back into the screen, halfway up, directly behind home plate for strike 1. In that game yesterday, the first CCL game of the year for Conejo was against the Philippines baseball group. They won 4-2. They did give up 2 runs in the opening inning. Able to bounce back from that very well. Score 4 unanswered runs in the contest yesterday. And AJ worked from the first base side of the hill. Here comes the 1-1 Daniel Wicks. It's going to clip the outside edge of the zone for a strike 1-2. Looked like the slider that time.
Good pitch right there by Crodell, just getting the outer half of the plate.
Here comes the next. Goes right back to the fastball at 92. 10-mile difference between that last pitch and the one that he just threw. It is still 1-2.
Something that could really throw you off if you're not careful. That velocity difference, the movement, coming from a taller player on the mound, that's quite challenging for the batter.
Strike 2 pitch is down in the dirt. Great cover by Madrid Murray. Granted, no one on base, but first action of the summer for the catcher Madrid Murray behind the plate.
Yeah, someone who was not in the lineup yesterday plays his college ball at Ottawa University in Kansas. Who would have thought Canada, but no, it's in Kansas.
Couple Ottawa colleges sprinkled through the U.S., but now the 2-2 curveball swing and a miss. Got him down swinging. Daniel Wicks goes down one away in the first.
That curveball was a little higher in the zone than you would have liked, but the batter for the Oaks there, Daniel, I just think was sitting fastball and just did not get it. All his timing sort of messed up there.
One away in the bottom of the first, no score. That's going to bring up Jacob Galloway. 0 for 2 yesterday. The light breeze going out towards right center field. It's 400 straight away here at Sparky Anderson Field. Here comes the first pitch. It's going to be changeup down for ball one. Down the poles, it's 325. And actually 325 down the left field line and 320 down the right field line. AJ working quick. The 1-0 pitch to Galloway. Off speed again, missing ball two.
Galloway is definitely a guy you want to pay attention to in this Oaks lineup. Just wrapped up his junior season at Texas A&M. Before that was the starting catcher at USC.
Not too bad. 2-0. Fastball, and that's down the middle to get Crodell back in the count, 2-1.
Good job finding the zone there if you're Crodell.
Santa Barbara pitchers yesterday were working quick. So is AJ here. Here's the 2-1 off speed and his line down the right field line. It is fair. It rolls all the way down into the corner. Galloway's going to cruise into second base. It was scooped up in the corner by Brenton Clark. And it's a 1-out double by Jacob Galloway.
Yeah, starting catcher at USC in 2024 had 17 doubles that year. Gets another one to start out the bottom of the first inning. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. Oaks putting some pressure on early.
And by the way, the defense behind AJ today, of course, his battery partner, Grant Madrid Murray, the catcher. The infield from third to first, Easton Muma. Sawyer Farr, who was at second yesterday, is now at short. Easton Ruley is at second. Brady Dallimore is at first. Brenton Clark in right. Maddox Mandino in center. Makani Nabarro is out in left. Now stands in is Jonathan Smith, the switch hitter. Here comes the first pitch. It's a fastball down and in for ball one.
Jonathan Smith, another guy that you want to keep an ear out for, plays his college ball at San Diego State.
The Aztec will look to bring home Galloway and put up the opening run of this ball game. Bottom of the first, only a single out. And Smith went 1 for 2 yesterday. It's at a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. And a slider missing. No, it's going to clip the inside half for a strike, 1-1.
And really just ended his season with San Diego State on a really hot streak. Had 3 RBIs in the Mountain Series in a game against Washington State to close out the year.
And at second, Crodell looks that way. Here's the 1-1 on the delivery. Curveball is fouled back into the screen directly behind the plate for Smith. And he now falls behind a ball and 2 strikes to AJ.
General hit above 300 for the Aztecs. Very solid season from Smith.
Breeze picking up just a little bit out towards the right field foul pole. And Crodell still working from the first base side of the hill. Glances back to second at Galloway, who had the 1-out double. And now the 1-2 pitch is missing away and in and out of the glove of Madrid Murray. That ball trundles towards the first base on deck circle. And that's going to advance the runner to third base. And Galloway on the passed ball will get to third. And just the first run of this game, 90 feet away with only a single out in the first.
But the Foresters got themselves into a hole in last night's game. They had runners on in the first inning and were able to get out of that jam. Another Gaucho pitcher, Barrett, there was able to do so. Can Crodell do the same?
AJ working against the switch hitter. A fly ball will do for Jonathan Smith to bring home the first run of this game. Here's the 2-2. It's a fastball on the ground to the shortstop. Sawyer Farr charges, and the throw will be in time, but that's going to bring home a run. Galloway scores from third, and the Conejo Oaks take the first lead of this ball game. They lead 1-0.
I mean, you didn't give up an entire run the last game. You give one up here in the bottom of the first, but I'm not concerned at all. There's only 2 outs, nobody on now. Just an out and you're out of the inning. You get the meat of your lineup up to get that back.
So Smith, the RBI ground out to bring up Brady Hewitt. Cleanup batter. First pitch. And the fastball at 92 missing away at the knees for ball 1.
Hewitt, one of 2 recent high school grads in the lineup, along with Devin Wilkes, who's on deck, committed to Oregon.
Here comes the 1-0. And off speed is tapped towards and really chopped towards the third base dugout where his teammates are housed here at Sparky Anderson Field. Conejo down the third baseline and the Sturs down the first base side. The sun setting right behind the first base dugout. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball will miss down and away for ball 2.
That breaking ball has some really solid movement from Crodell. If he can just get that a little closer to his own, he's definitely going to get some swings and misses.
Conejo brought home a run here in the first. Here's the 2-1. The fastball missed down and away, ball 3.
Maybe Crodell's feeling a little rattled after getting the run, after giving up a run in the first frame, but all he needs is just one pitch to get this out and get out of the inning.
Base is clear. 3-1 pitches. Foul back on a fastball. Count full now for Brady Hewitt. Devin Wilkes stands on deck for Conejo as they now lead 1-0. The Sturs will have Dallimore, Clark, and Ruley coming up in the second inning. The Sturs, for the first time this year, trailing in a ball game. Look to get out of this inning right here. 3-2 pitch. Fastball misses high, and Crodell loses him. A 2-out walk to Brady Hewitt will extend the inning for Conejo.
Way out of his zone. I mean, the catcher, Madrid Murray, basically had to stand up to get that one.
It's going to bring up the lefty, Devin Wilkes, serving as the DH. Only had one AB last night. Successful. It's now 1 for 1 in CCL play. And remember, technically the third game for Conejo, but if you look online in their stats, only shows that they have played one game. That is a CCL game. The other game was a non-league game. Now the first pitch, off speed, inducing a swing and a miss. We're strike 1 on Wilkes.
And man, this Devin Wilkes guy can swing the baseball. Hit 480 his senior year at Pacifica High School.
The man at first, Dallimore holds on to him. Here is the 0-1, fastball swing and a miss. Strike 2, so he went to the changeup and then fastball, inducing 2 swings.
I love going to the changeup first pitch. You catch him, you got him thinking off speed, but then he speeds it up for that second strike. Where does Crodell go here?
Strike 2 pitch, fastball just missing a little bit low, maybe a fraction away. Good looking pitch, ball 1.
Very good looking pitch. Surprising that did not get a swing out of Wilkes.
Hewitt is at first with 2 out. Conejo lead by a run in the first. 1-2 pitch is chopped on a changeup over to Brady Dallimore. The first baseman gloves it and touches first base. No problem to record the out, and the side retired. Conejo strike first, bring home a run. We go to the second. Sturs trail by 1 as we head to the second.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Now in the second inning, from the campus of Cal Lutheran at Sparky Anderson Field, and the Sturs trailing for the first time this season. Brady Dallimore, Brenton Clark, and Easton Ruley. That is 5-6-7 coming up for Santa Barbara.
And Valor Castrol, the Oaks pitcher, absolutely dominant in that first inning. 3 strikeouts. Did give up the hit, but those 3 strikeouts really has to have the Foresters batters aware. This guy has some good swing and miss stuff. You got to be really careful here.
And the first batter will be Brady Dallimore, who bats from the right side. And the southpaw on the hill delivers the first pitch, swing and a miss. Massive swing from Dallimore. Strike 1.
Good job getting the swing and miss there from Castrol. If I'm Bill Pintard, I'm telling him maybe hold off a little bit, see what this guy can give you.
Here's the 0-1. Check swing. It looked like the changeup that time from Val. And fastball changeup on Dallimore. Even the count at 1. And here comes the pitch to the first baseman. Swing and a miss. Another big cut from Dallimore. Strike 2.
Dallimore, the 6'4", 230-pound righty, A lot of power on that bat.
Coming set, Castro on the third base side of the hill. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Val Castro strikes out his fourth. Forster in just an inning and a third.
All 4 outs coming via the K. An eerily similar bit to Hudson Barrett's performance, who got 6 strikeouts in just 4 innings last night.
Conejo do lead by a run. Picked up a run in the opening inning. That's going to bring up Brenton Clark. 1 out and the base is clear for the Sturs. He bats from the left side, so lefty-lefty matchup here. First pitch is going to be down at 74. That is ball 1.
Good job not swinging on that one. Getting ahead on the count is so crucial against a pitcher like Castro.
And the starter for Conejo comes set. Here's the pitch. Fastball will miss high and in for ball 2. And yesterday for Clark, man who plays for Arkansas. A double in the second inning down the left field line and also worked a walk. 2-0 pitch. Fastball will miss down and in near the knees. He's ahead 3-0.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Clark's approach yesterday, doing a good job of getting favorable pitches that he could swing on. Drew the walk as well. Impressive hitter.
Here comes a 3-0, and the fastball is going to clip the inside half of the plate for a strike. 3-1. Base is clear, 1 away. Top of the second. Sturs trailing by a run. A lot of real estate towards second base and into center field. Here's a 3-1, and that is a strike. Clark tosses the lumber towards first base. He's going to have to retrieve it. Looks like the fastball just clipped the inside edge. Count full.
The home plate umpire really loving those delayed calls, especially when you think it is that ball, as Clark did. He was ready to take off for first there.
Instead, 3-2 pitch. On the ground to the second baseman. Gonzalez ranges over to his left, and the throw well in time to retire Brenton Clark. 2 down in the second.
Clark had a good amount of space in between the second baseman and shortstop. Wasn't able to use it, though. That one straight to the second baseman, who was playing pretty close to his first base counterpart.
That's going to bring up Easton Ruley, who's very familiar with this area. Went to high school just down the road. Really considers this part of California the backyard for Ruley. 2 out and the base is clear. First pitch fouls off the fastball, up and out of play over the first base dugout for strike number 1.
Yeah, when they called out Ruley's name in the lineup card, a big cheer from the right side. Obviously has some family here watching the game.
And Easton yesterday, batting the exact same spot, 7th for Bill Pintard, now in his 31st year. Here's a strike 1 pitch, and it's going to be a fastball missing away. Ball and a strike.
And to clarify, that is Bill Pintard's 31st year, not
Yes.
Easton Rowley's.
The veteran manager has been with the Santa Barbara Foresters since the early 90s. Here is the 1-1 on the ground and past the third baseman down the left field line, and Ruley is winding around first base, cruising into second. It is a 2-out double for Easton Ruley, his first hit of the summer.
And gets a good cheer from the hometown fans. Way to show up in a game that obviously means a little more for you if you're Easton Ruley. Just a great piece of hitting right down the third base line. Came off the bat with a nice sound. Gets a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
The first time that has occurred today, the second knock of the ball game for the Sturs. To bring up the number 8 batter, Grant Madrid Murray, for his first plate appearance of the summer. And time now being called. It looks like the catcher, Jacob Galloway, calling time behind the plate. And as we mentioned, Madrid Murray not playing in the game yesterday. The catcher was Dallimore, the first baseman Hoover. A little bit of a shuffling Bill Pintard this afternoon. Now the first pitch to Grant. It's going to be a fastball missing down, ball 1.
And this is encouraging for the Foresters to get 2 hits in the first 2 innings. They struggled to get hits in the early part of the game last night, so already signs of improvement from the lineup.
Man at second, 2 out. There goes the runner. The 1-0 pitch is going to be down the throw down to third base, is down the left field line, and coming home to score is Easton Ruley, a stolen base, and then scoring on an error, and we are tied at 1.
Aggressive base running pays off for the Santa Barbara Foresters, a story as old as time. It's not every day you see teams like to send guys from second to third, but in college summer ball, that can create some chaos at third base, and that's what we saw right there. Bad throw from the catcher. kind of a scramble around third base, and then a bit of a scramble in the outfield to get the ball. It was very easy to come across the plate there for Easton Ruley.
And now the 2-0 pitch is up the middle for a base hit for Grant Madrid Murray. So the Sturs bring home the first run, stolen base, coming home to score on an error. And Madrid Murray has a base hit into center field and back-to-back hits for Santa Barbara.
2-out hitting is something that you love to see if your bullpen's hard, backs against the wall. But if you can string along rallies here, it really is going to pay dividends throughout this course of the season.
The batter will now be Makani Nabarro, man at first, 2 out. We are now tied at 1. Here comes the first pitch. This is turned down the right field line. That ball is fair into the corner. Madrid Murray from first base. He's being waved home. Here he comes. Now a stop sign being put up by Steve Schuck, initially saying, Grant, come home, but it's now going to be second and third. 3 straight hits for Santa Barbara. Makani Nabarro, his first hit of the summer.
I mean, this is it might have felt a little inevitable for a guy like Valerie Castro to kind of figure him out. Obviously, he has done a really good job of getting swing and misses, but once you get ahead on these counts, make him feel some pressure, that's going to rattle a guy who doesn't have a lot of velocity.
So Madrid Murray now at third. Nabarro with the double down the right field line is at second. It's going to bring around Maddox Mandino back to the top of the order, and the Sturs look to put up a crooked number in the second. Here's the pitch. The lefty-lefty matchup. Mandino will see a breaking ball missing in, ball 1.
Mandino, you look at how the season's gone so far, the guy you want up with 2 guys in scoring position had a 2 RBI single in the 9th inning last night.
The 1-0 changeup missing in for ball 2. Maddox today is 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the first, and you just said it, Nate. I feel like the Stur hitters are finally kind of timing up. Castro, granted, we are just in the second inning, but 4 punch-outs to the first 5 batters, and now the 2-0 pitch. Fastball is going to clip the inside edge for strike 1.
Needed to find the zone there if you were Castro. Good job getting yourself back into this count and kind of easing off the pressure a bit.
Fall Mandino, if she's able to reach, will be far, but the 2-1 is up the middle for a base hit. Mandino coming up clutch once again, 1 run in. And the throw home will be cut off. 2 RBI single for Mandino, and he is now caught off between first and second. A run down, and he is going to be caught off of first base. But Mandino brings home 2 more runs, caught off of first base, took a wide turn. Throw was cut off, and they decided to get him between first and second. What should they do for the final out? But 4 straight hits for the Santa Barbara Forsters, and they now lead 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the second. The Sturs cooking early from Sparky Anderson Field. And to the bottom of the second inning, and the Sturs have put up a 3 spot in the top of the second. Great response after conceding a run in the first, Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 runs came across the plate. Easily could have been more if Mandino didn't get run out at kind of got caught in a bit of pickle. That's the second time we've actually seen Mandino in a pickle. Was caught in a pickle last night against the Riptide. But it doesn't matter if you get 2 runs across the plate there on the RBI.
A.J. Crodell remains on the hill, and here comes the first pitch to Caden Stillwell, rather. It's going to miss upstairs on a fastball for ball 1. It's going to be 6, 7, and 8 coming up for Conejo.
Yeah, and Stillwell, the first guy up here, a Ventura College product, calls Thousand Oaks home.
Here comes the second pitch to the leadoff man. It's going to be a slider in there for a strike, 1-1 to Caden Stillwell, who has not recorded an AB officially this season in the CCL. Did not play in yesterday's contest against the Philippines baseball group. The 1-1 is a curveball and fouled off to the right, out of play over the first base dugout, high looping foul ball, or strike number 2.
Stillwell, a guy who played for the Oaks last summer, was a part of that championship team for Conejo.
Conejo had the best regular season record last year. Here's the 1-2 is a fastball up and out of play over the entire complex here. Sparky Anderson Field remains 1-2. Conejo had a 25-12 CCL record last year, and the Sturs went 20-11. A better record for Conejo as the 1-2 pitch is just fouled back on a breaking ball from Crodell. Stillwell is able to stay alive, and that's not too often that Santa Barbara is not the top team in the regular season of any other teams in the CCL.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at just the comparison between these two teams, 3-3, split the season series across 6 games, a couple of close ones, a couple of 2-run games. I could have gone the other way.
There's now the 1-2 pitches line past the third baseman, actually caught off one hop by the third baseman. What an effort, but the throw will not be in time. Easton Muma collected that ball on a very sharp hop at third, the hot corner. The throw was late after he was able to get back to his feet. I thought that ball was blazing past him, but great effort, but it will be an infield single for Stillwell.
And a really crucial play at that. If that got through, that would have been extra bases for Stillwell. Instead, he's held up at first. Double play ball in effect here for the Oaks.
That's going to bring up Big Nate Johnson, the switch hitter who bats from the left side. Man at first, nobody out. The first pitch is a curveball in there for a strike, 0-1.
And there's a reason why you called him Big Nate Johnson, 6'5", 210. The Tulane Green Wave standing tall from the left side.
Dalmore holds on to the runner at first. Here's the next pitch is the 0-1, a fly ball into shallow center field. Long run from Mandino. It falls in front of him, and back-to-back base hits for Conejo. It's now first and second. Nobody out in the second inning.
Looks like we're getting some made-up offense for last night's lack of offense between two teams. 8 hits between the two, Conejo and Santa Barbara, and we're not even done with the second inning. I haven't even gotten an out here.
And there's 8 hits between the Orange County and the Foresters last night through 9 innings. Equaled that amount already today. Here's Isaac Veal, who bats from the right side, first and second, nobody out. First pitch, fastball is down. We're ball 1.
Veal, the left fielder, plays his college ball over at Westmont. Calls Santa Barbara home, going against the hometown team.
The Sturs leading 3-1. Conejo threatening, put up some runs. Here is the next pitch, and it's going to be in there on a slider from AJ. 1-1 to Isaac Veal, who bats out of the 8th spot for his manager, David Solis. There's a man up now tossing down the right field line in the Gaucho bullpen. We were told Tag Andrews will be the first man out of the pen today. Here's the 1-1. Fastball is popped up and behind everything on top of the press box for strike 2.
Yeah, you mentioned David Solis. As much as Bill Pintard is a legend in the CCL, Solis holds his own as well. Has been with the Oaks since 2006.
Very nice tenure for the manager for Conejo. Won the CCL state championship last season, the first state championship since 2018. Here's the 1-2 pitch, curveball in there and got him looking. Isaac Veal goes down. Second strikeout of the day for AJ. Big first out in the second.
Not only a big first out, but an out that builds some confidence if you're Crodell. You know, you got 2 guys on without getting anyone out. To get that first out from a punch out is just such a confidence builder for Crodell.
That's going to bring up, man, batting out of the 9th spot, Ethan Gonzalez, first and second, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Fastball, actually change up, has popped up and out of play for strike number 1. Sturs hold on to a 2-run lead just in the bottom of the second. On a fantastic day from Thousand Oaks, California. Not a thing in the sky. Light breeze right around 75 degrees. It'll start to cool off just a little bit. First pitch at 4 o'clock, just after it, here at Sparky Anderson Field. The 0-1 is a fastball and paints the corner for strike 2.
Yeah, and I think if you're Crodell, you know if you can get this out right here, you bring back up the top of the order, and a guy in Daniel Litz that you struck out first time through.
First and second, ground ball to get out of this inning. Look back to second base, the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. The slider got him. 2 out in the second.
Crodell getting some confidence here. 3 strikeouts through 1 2/3, and brings up another strikeout victim here for the first time through in Daniel Litz.
If AJ is able to get out of this inning, the Sturs are leading 3-1. We're in the bottom of the seconds, first and second for Conejo, 2 out. And the right fielder, Cade, swinging in his first look against Crodell. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a curveball away, ball 1.
But I like going to the off speed with that first pitch, try and catch Daniel Litz, maybe sitting a fastball there.
Couple waggles through the zone for the right-handed batter of Daniel Wicks as Crodell finds the one he likes and comes set from the belt. The 1-0 pitch is popped up on a changeup and coming right where we are and backing out of play. And that's the press box. You hear strike 1.
Yeah, we were sitting right next to the press box, right behind the dish. Very possible. Don't have as much cover as we did at in Irvine.
For a second there, it looked like it was going to be plopping down right on us. But it's now 1-1. Can AJ get out of this jam? Keep it a 2-run lead for Santa Barbara. Another look back to second base. Here's the 1-1 pitch and a fastball just missing away at knee height. Ball 2.
Tough miss right there for Crodell. Was kind of on the line. Just couldn't find the zone, though.
The Sturs starting their first 6 games of this 2025 season on the road. And they lead their second game by 2 runs. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Curveball missing high and in, it looked like, ball 3.
Pintard pacing back to the dugout. Not happy with a couple of the calls that he's gotten here in the bottom of the second.
Santa Barbara House on the first base side of this field. First 2 men reached base with base hits. They still remain at first and second with 2 out. 3-1 pitch on the ground left side to the third baseman, Muma, and he throws to second for the force out. And A.J. Crodell gave up 2 hits to start this inning, but retires the next 3. Well done from the starter for the Sturs. And we head to the third. Santa Barbara leading 3-1 over Conejo. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. In the third inning from Sparky Anderson Field, Sawyer Farr, Easton Muma, and Caleb Hoover will be coming up for the Sturs. That is 2-3-4, with the Santa Barbara Foresters leading 3-1 over Conejo.
And a lineup that's probably got a little more confidence than it did an inning ago. Of course, you saw 4 straight strikeouts from Oaks pitcher Valor Castrol. But then he gave up a couple hits in a row. Foresters managed to get 3 runs in that top of the second, and with the meat of the lineup 2, 3, and 4 coming up, looking to add some more.
Here comes the first pitch to Sawyer Farr, swinging a miss on a breaking ball for strike one. And Farr, who's switch hitter, bats from the right side against the lefty on the hill, Val Castro. We have seen a couple RBIs from Santa Barbara, and these RBIs were brought to us by Gold's Gym. Gold's has 3 locations in Santa Barbara where the Foresters train to win. Here comes the 0-1, and leadoff man is a fastball chopped on 3 hops to the shortstop, fields it, ranging to his left, and the throw will be in time. 1 away in the third. Good play from Brady Hewitt, the shortstop for Conejo.
Yeah, pretty solid play. Pretty routine, I'd say, for Hewitt. That's something you practice and you can basically do in your sleep if you're a shortstop.
So far retired, and that's going to bring up Easton Muma, who's 1 for 1. Now the first hit of the ball game. The Stars currently have 5.
Not only has he been getting it done on offense, but I mean, really impressive on defense. End of the inning in the bottom of the second on a great play.
Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball. Will miss upstairs for ball 1.
And that's really significant. And if you can get some solid defense like that at third, that Muma has provided, made a couple of great plays at the start the second inning as well, prevent an extra base hit.
Next pitch is slicing down the left field line and out of play. Just on top of where the bullpen is here at Sparky Anderson Field, down that left field line. Count now 1-1 for Muma. Hoover will be next for the Stars. Base is clear, 1 out. Santa Barbara lead 3-1. Top of the third. Here comes the 1-1 from Castro. And it's fouled off on a breaking ball for strike 2. Up and out of play on the first base side of the park. We're right on the campus of Cal Lutheran Gymnasium, and where the basketball team's behind us, and campus sprawling to our left. But now the strike 2 pitch on Muma is lined down the left field line, and the left fielder can't make the play. It falls in front of him, Isaac Veal, and it's going to be a 1-out knock for Easton Muma. He is now 2 for 2.
Muma, great piece of hitting again. That's just what he does. Top 5 at UT Rio Grande Valley in batting average. Did a good job of getting extra base hits. That time just a single, but we know he has some solid speed. That's something that Bill Pintard really values. Wonder if we could see some runners getting moved throughout the inning.
That's going to bring up Caleb Hoover. Man at first, 1 out, first pitch on the lefty-lefty matchup, and the curveball is fouled off his left leg for strike 1. When we look at the lineup today, only 3 true righties. Everyone else a lefty, excluding Sawyer Farr, who's a switch hitter.
That's definitely an interesting choice considering that Valor Castro is a lefty.
And Muma at first held on by Stillwell. And stepping off is the starting pitcher, Castro, throwing over to his first baseman.
But I don't know if I can question the decision of going with 5 lefties in the lineup when you have 6 hits through 2 1/3 innings.
Can't argue with that. Hoover 0 for 1, struck out in the first. Here's the 0-1, swinging a miss, fooled on a breaking ball. Strike 2.
Hoover's had a few swing and misses to start the season. Swing and miss there. Looking to connect and send one deep. That's what his MO is.
Castro looking over to first base. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And fouling off the breaking ball behind home plate into the screen. Remains 0-2. Brady Dallimore will be next for Santa Barbara.
Good job staying alive there from Hoover.
Struck out in the first. Runner at first base, but the 0-2 pitch is in there, called strike 3 on the fastball, just painting the inside edge, and Hoover goes down looking, 2 out in the third.
Swung and missed to end the first inning. That time just got him looking tough for Caleb Hoover. A tough start to his day.
And that's going to bring up the righty, Brady Dallimore. 0 for 1, strikeout today. Still a man at first, Easton Muma with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Tap foul on a fastball, rolling towards the third base on deck circle. Strike 1. Santa Barbara leading 3-1, top of the third.
Seen some pretty solid 2-out hitting in the last inning. Of course, the RBI single came with 2 outs from Maddox Mandino.
Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another big swing from Dallimore. He is not shied away. That was a break. It looked like maybe the changeup from Castro.
Way ahead from Dallimore.
Dash will come set. Southpaw from Agoro Hills looks to first with 2 out. There goes the runner. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Dallimore is struck out and retired down at first base as he tried to trot down, but he strikes out for the second time today. And now 6 strikeouts for Val Castro, and we head to the bottom of the third. Stars leading 3-1 over Conejo.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
The catcher, number 21, Jacob.
2-3-4 coming up for the Conejo Oaks. AJ Crodell remains in this ball game with the Stars, going to the bottom of the third, leading 3-1 over the reigning CCL state champions, the Conejo Oaks.
Good bounce back inning in the top of the third in terms of getting 2 strikeouts, stranding a runner. Conejo now looking to get some offense going here in the bottom of the third.
Here comes the first pitch to the lefty Galloway. It's going to be a curveball, just clips the bottom half of the zone for a strike. Good delivery from AJ. 0-1.
Crodell really showing some of his strikeout stuff in the last inning. Got 2 Ks.
Here's the 0-1. Goes to the fastball, but a drive into center field. It's going to stay in the yard. Max Mandino slides over in the left center gap and makes the squeeze 1 away in the third.
Yeah, just kind of hang up there a bit. The wind kept it up. Maybe wanted it to drop a little bit earlier than it could have. Instead, a very easy play for Maddox Mandino. Only probably had to move a couple feet to make the grab.
Wind's blowing from left to right, pole to pole. So with 1 out in the third, base is clear. That's going to bring up the switch hitter, Jonathan Smith, who now bats from the left side against the righty Crodell. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball right down the middle. Strike 1. Smith is 0 for 1 today as a ground out to short, but did bring home the first and only run on the scoreboard for Conejo after Jacob Galloway had a 1-out double brought home on a ground out. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss, got all tangled up on a breaking ball, strike 2.
Smith, a guy who can start the season hot, did so with the Aztecs this past season.
He's going to have to shorten up, protect the plate. The 0-2 lifted towards the second baseman and over his head, Easton Rulli, and tried to make a play out in short right, but it floats over his head into shallow right center field, and a 1-out knock for Jonathan Smith. He's aboard for the first time today.
Really tough play to make if you're Easton Rulli. I don't really fault him. Maybe if you had someone like a Sawyer Farr out there, a little taller, longer arms that could have reached it, maybe that could have been a catch, but still really tough play to make. I don't fault Easton Rulli for that at all.
1-out base run. That's going to bring up Brady Hewitt. Here's the pitch. And fastball is popped up out of play over the stands down the first baseline for strike 1. Hewitt had a walk in the first against Crodell. And we do see the Tag Andrews still up in the bullpen down the right field line. We were instructed that he was going to be the first man out to follow AJ. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball at 90 for strike 2 on Hewitt.
Good fastball there. Sped him up a bit. Where do you go here if you're crowed out to get a crucial second out?
Third baseman's pinched in a fraction, but now the strike 2 pitch in there, called strike 3. Curveball from AJ got him looking. 2 out in the third.
Beautiful pitch. Great pitch by A.J. Crodell. Totally confused the hitter, Brady Hewitt. Brings up Devin Wilkes, who struck out last time up.
With 2 out, man at first. Here's the pitch. That fastball spoiled behind the plate, halfway up the screen for strike 1. Crodell now with 4 Ks on the day, and Wilkes 0 for 1. Stands in at the left side. Infield playing a double play depth, but Dalmore holds on to the man at first. The 0-1 is rolled over to the second baseman. Ruley ranges to his right, and the throw will be in time. Man stranded on base for Conejo, and we are going to the 4th. Santa Barbara leading 3-1 over the Conejo Oaks.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
To the 4th inning from Sparky Anderson Field. The Stars have Brenton Clark, Easton Ruley, and Grant Madrid Murray scheduled. That is 6, 7, and 8 with Val Castrol, southpaw starter, remaining on the hill on a very nice afternoon from Thousand Oaks.
Perfect baseball weather. I mean, you're kind of given the layout of what campus looks like. Behind us to the right is a community pool as well.
Yes.
I was going to say maybe if we're in the sun, I'd like to take a dip, but it's really nice in the shade right here with a light breeze blowing through.
Yeah, first pitch right around 75 degrees. It'll start to cool off just a little bit as we approach 5 o'clock local time. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be on the Forster Radio Network. So here is Brenton Clark, and this lefty-lefty matchup stands in for the second time. Here's the pitch, squares around to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a fastball down, ball 1.
It's something we saw the Foresters do a bit later on in the game last night is show bunt early in counts, even without guys on. Just trust your speed to beat the throw.
Here's the 1-0, and Clark checks the swing. It's another fastball. It's down and in, ball 2, and Brenton today is 0 for 1. Had a ground up to second back in the second inning. Santa Barbara is leading 3-1, just underway in the 4th. Here is the 2-0 pitch. A drive down the right field line, but caught by the first baseman off one hop. It's a foot race to first base. Diving head first is the first baseman to get the tag at first base before Clark get there. What an effort from Caden Stillwell to record the first out at first.
What a play. It was just an absolute foot race. And you usually fancy a guy like Brenton Clark to beat him there. I mean, a very great play by Caden Stillwell. Just Superman dove out and extended the arm and got the out.
That ball was rocketed down that first baseline, fielding off a very quick first hop. But now here's Ruley, first pitch, swinging a miss on a breaking ball for strike 1. Easton today, 1 for 1, had a double down the left field line, and a run scored, the first of 3, which came around to score in the second.
Yeah, this is the part of a lineup that did a lot of damage against Castrol first time through.
Here's the pitch, and reaching for it. It was a fastball away in the zone, and strike 2 on Easton. And to that point, Nate really started a chain of 4 straight hits in the second inning, which brought home 3 runs. The Stars leading 3-1 in the 4th. But now it's 0-2. Bases clear, 1 out. Here's the pitch into center field. Drafting back is Jonathan Smith, and now into the right center field gap, and makes the squeeze. 2 up, 2 down for Val Castrol, the starter for Conejo.
Couple of times now we've seen here at Sparky Anderson Field where the ball just kind of dies out in the outfield, gets hung up, and allows, you know, maybe what could have been a gap shot with different conditions. They just kind of hang and allow this outfielders to make easy grabs in the gaps.
And you look at what the batter is looking at. A couple trees, I should say more than a couple, a nice sea of trees beyond the outfield fences and rolling hills beyond that. 2 out and the bases clear. Here's Madrid Murray. First pitch will skip in the dirt for ball 1. And Grant, his first plate appearance of the season, a base hit. Gotta love that for the catcher getting his first start of the year.
Batting 1,000.
Yes.
Can't do better than that, Hunter.
Scored the second of the 3 runs in the second frame. Here's the 1-0. Fastball is in there, upper half of the zone. Evens the count at 1.
Nice pitch there by Castrol. Going against the order. I'm sure it's in the back of his head that he struggled with these guys first time through, looking to redeem himself the second time through the order.
Here's the strike 1 pitch on Madrid Murray. Fastball will miss high and away, just above belt height. Ball 2. If Grant's able to reach, Makani Navarro is on deck for Bill Pintard. And Santa Barbara in these games just building towards Wichita. The middle, late portion of July. Here's the 2-1. Fastball is sent over the first base dugout where his teammates are housed. Hits a pole. And ricochets down, but it's well foul and out of play. 2-2.
You kind of got the sense that this game's kind of settled down a bit. You know, first time through the order for both sides, you saw a lot of offense shine through. Now,
Yes.
pitcher's kind of getting into his zone.
See how long both starters go. Here's the 2-2. Off speed will miss away. Full count. We have seen Tag Andrews up in the pen for quite some time, I believe. Last 2 innings. Crodell, if he's gone 3 innings, if he returns for the bottom of the 4th. The payoff pitch to Madrid Murray is in there. Called strike 3. Grant will go down looking. The breaking ball from Val Castro got him looking for his 7th strikeout of the day. And the Sturs go in order. And we go to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara leading 3-1 over Conejo.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the 4th inning, and the Sturs leading 3-1 over the Conejo Oaks. And a new arm will be entering for the Sturs. Tag Andrews will make his first appearance, the right-hander, as Adrian Crodell, the starter, went 3 innings, and Tag's going to face 6, 7, and 8. Caden Stillwell standing in, the right-handed batter, and here comes the first pitch. Fastball at 92, missing in for ball 1.
Yeah, Tag Andrews, one of 4 Arkansas Razorbacks on Bill Pintard's side. He loves going to the SEC to get some of these guys to play for his team.
The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike on a slider, 1-1.
But it should be mentioned that Andrews did enter the transfer portal last week after a year at Arkansas where he didn't get any run for Dave Van Horn's side.
1-1. Fastball high and in, buzzing the tower. Leaning back was Caden Stillwell for ball 2. And Andrews, an Arkansas native, right-hander, 6 foot, 190, working from the first base side of the hill. Works through a couple of pitches with his partner Madrid Murray behind the plate. Here's the 2-1. And looked like changeup missing in for ball 3.
Andrews being a bit of out of place here. Kind of had a lot of pitches all over the place. Some high, some in, some low. 3-1, you got to find the zone here.
And that is also our score. Sturs leading 3-1. Here's the pitch. Fastball is in there. Full count.
I think the Oaks hitter, Wilkes, thought he got on there. Excuse me, Stillwell.
Stillwell is 1 for 1. Had a base hit in the left first time up. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball is going to miss down, and it's a leadoff walk for Conejo, and Stillwell aboard for the second time today.
Andrews, a guy that was one of the best prospects in Arkansas. As we said, didn't get much run. It's going to be his first time pitching in a game since the fall, probably.
Off walk. Ball 1. Decent lead off at first base. Swinging a miss through the slider. Strike 2.
And that's what you like.
Strike 2.
And that's what you like to see. Scouting report like to see. Scouting report said he has a see it there on the.
Nate Johnson has to shorten up near the letters. 2 and 2. And it is worth noting Josh Heineman is now at order today. After 8-2-2, it's lifted down the left field line. It'll slice out of play. And actually maybe a chance.
Starting to pick up here as the game's gone on. And that time, line advantage.
So now 1 out, and that's going to bring is playing in a fraction down at third. We're back in Thousand Oaks, California, on the campus of Cal Lutheran. Excuse our internet connection, lost it for just a little bit, but we are now tied at 3. 2 runs have come in to score in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 walks given up by Tag Andrews, and that's going to bring in a pitching change, Nate, for Santa Barbara. Josh Heineman now in the ballgame.
A really tough outing there for Andrews. He had 2 outs. He just had to get 1 pitch, 1 out, 1 flyout, 1 strikeout. Instead, walked a couple of guys, gave up some hits. Allowed 2 runs to come across the plate, and just like that, it's a tie game. Bringing in another Arkansas native, though, to clean things up here. Josh Heineman, the 6'4" righty, played at Crowder College this past year and is now in the transfer portal. Someone who's, struggled a bit. Had nearly a 6 ERA at Crowder.
But the bases will be loaded with 2 out. Tag Andrews recorded 2 outs, gave up 2 hits. He walked 3 in this inning after he took over for Crodell, who went 3 innings, who got the start. But we are now tied at 3, bases filled with Oaks. And Heineman is surrounded. The batter will be Brady Hewitt, who bats out of the 4 spot. He will be the 8th batter to stand in this inning for Conejo, and a massive spot for Heineman, making his debut this season for the Sturs. Working from the first base side of the hill. It's going to be a righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a fastball on the outer half for a strike, 0-1.
But Heineman should be noted, basically just the 5th Arkansas guy on the team, was there for 2 years where he had a redshirt year, and then he had Tommy John the next season. That's why he entered the portal to head over to Crowder College.
Hewitt has gone 0 for 1 with the walk. Here's the 1-1. Is going to be a slider missing down for ball 2. The base is loaded, tied ball game. The Sturs gave up an early run in the first, put up 3 in the second, and now in the bottom of the 4th, 2 runs have come in for Conejo. Tied ball game, and the Oaks could do some damage with 1 swing in the bat with Brady Hewitt, who's gone 3 for 5 this season with a walk, and now time being called by the catcher Madrid Murray.
Yeah, it's been a long inning for Murray. Second pitcher he's worked with this inning, third of the day. Very impressive how he's been able to adjust to all of them so far, though.
Can Heineman come in and get out of this jam? 2-1 pitch, check swing, not him all up, but he went around. It was the fastball from Josh, 2-2.
Good job to find the zone back there, even thing up at 2-2.
Should Hewitt reach and bring home a run, Devin Wilkes, the ninth batter of the inning, would stand on deck. Oh, with 2 out, bases loaded. Heineman a long hold on the hill, trying to get on the same page with his catcher, Madrid Murray. 2-2 pitch, popped up, shallow right field. The second baseman, Rulli, moves over, called off by the first baseman, Dallimore, and he makes the catch, falling in the shallow right, but he does make the squeeze, had to fight the wind and fight the sun. But Josh Heineman will get out of the jam, enters with the bases loaded, takes care of business against Hewitt. And the Sturs limit the damage to 2 runs in the 4th. We head to the 5th, tied ball game at 3 in Thousand Oaks.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back at Sparky Anderson Field on the campus of Cal Lutheran, we got ourselves a brand new ball game heading into the 5th. We are tied at 3, and a brand new arm. Val Castro, the starter for Conejo, his day complete, going 4 innings, and enter the right-hander, Max Strickland.
Max Strickland, one of the younger guys on the team, a class of 2026 in high school. He's made his way over to the States from Brisbane, out in Queensland, Australia, the Aussie. I do have to say, there's been a bit of a history of successful Aussie pitchers, both in the CCL and in the MLB. Of course, Liam Hendricks comes to mind, the closer in the CCL last summer. Richard Keel was an all-star with the Menlo Park Legends, the submarine pitcher. Strickland, not a submarine, should be noted. Pretty standard release.
And Strickland will face 9-1-2, scheduled in the top of 5. Tied at 3, that's Navarro, Mandino, and Farr. Lefty-lefty and a switch hitter scheduled against the righty Strickland. And the line for Castro going 4 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs. An error was contributing to his ERA. No walks and 7 Ks for Castro. Here comes the first pitch. The left-handed bat is up the middle, and it's going to get through for a base hit from Akani Navarro. He's got a double and now a single to his name. He is 2 for 2. And a leadoff single for the Sturs.
Navarro's been really impressive from as a hitter to start the season. Got a hit last night, 2 today. Triple and a home run away from the cycle. I had to bring it up. Yeah, just great stuff. And, of course, a guy that we know is aggressive on the base paths as well. Something to keep an ear out for.
And so far today, 2 Sturs are 2 for 2. Easton Muma and Navarro now. Both 2 for 2 to bring up Maddox Mandino. Here's the pitch. He was squaring around a bump. He'll take a fastball down and in the dirt. 1-0.
Mandino brought across a couple of runs last time through in the second. That was first time facing Strickland.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball is lifted into center field. Smith has to adjust, moves into the right center field gap, makes the catch. Runner holds, and that's the first out in the 5th inning.
Tough for Mandino to not advance the runner there, but, you know, with a runner on first, 1 out, you bring up Sawyer Farr. Would not be surprised if we saw some movement from Nabarro over at first, try and advance and get into scoring position with just 1 out.
Sawyer today, the switch hitter who now stands in at the left side. He's gone 0 for 2. He has struck out and a ground out to short. First pitch will have to wait. A check over to the runner at first. Nabarro slides in head first and is worthy to note. Shortstop nearly playing behind second base. A few paces when you're looking at the diamond from behind the plate. A few paces on the third base side of second base. Now the first pitch to Farr. Fastball at 92, missing in, ball 1.
Yeah, Nabarro over at first. It makes sense they're checking over there. Had 15 stolen bases over at Cuesta College.
1-0 for Farr. Muma will be next. And the right-hander winds up the 1-0 pitch. Is chopped on one high hop to the first baseman, but it gets through for a base hit. Holding up at second base is Nabarro. And back, I should say, 2 hits in this inning for Foresters. And they have first and second, only a single out in the 5th.
And that brings up the guy who you want to see here. Easton Muma just had a quick word with Bill Pinchard before stepping into the batter's box. The other hitter that's had 2 hits today.
1 into center and 1 into left in the first and third innings. As his first look at Max Strickland, so the right-hander with his fastball in the low 90s has faced 3, giving up 2 hits, just retired 1. And a chance for Santa Barbara to regain the lead that they just conceded in the last inning. Here's the pitch. It's going to miss inside. It's down, and the throw down to third base as the runners go. Safe, aggressive base running. That ball was just dropped by the catcher. A fraction, not really a wild pitch or a pass ball, just a small slip up, and the Sturs swipe 2 bases.
I wonder if, Nabarro and Farr thought that was going to get past the catcher for the Oaks. It didn't, but still, great job being aggressive, get into scoring position, get out of a double play ball as well. 2 on in scoring position with just 1 out. Hit could very well score both runs.
Here's the pitch. Fastball is rolled over to the second baseman. Gonzalez charges in. Underhand flips it to the first baseman, but the Sturs have brought in a run on the ground out. Muma brings home Nabarro from third base, and Santa Barbara regains the lead, 4-3, the score.
And very well that you did go there, because that looked to be a tailor-made double play if Sawyer Farr stayed at first. Instead, Farr's just 90 feet away from scoring with 2 outs, and of course, the run to retake the lead.
So just a runner at third base to bring up Caleb Hoover with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Fastball at 92, down and in, ball 1. The ground out RBI for Easton Muma brought to us by our friends at Gold's Gym. Gold's a couple locations in Santa Barbara where the Foresters train for victory. Farr's at third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball up and away this time. It's ball 2.
Good take there by Hoover, a guy who struggled a bit with the swing and misses against the previous pitcher. Now holding up a bit stronger. Ahead in the count. This is where a power guy like Hoover could take advantage.
2-0 pitch, and that's going to miss inside for ball 3. And it is worth noting for Strickland, the right-hand pitcher, the 5th lefty, and he has faced in order. Granted, Farr's at third right now, is the switch hitter, but the next man is also, well, I should say, is a righty. But 5 straight lefties that Strickland has faced. The 3-0 is down, wasn't even close, skips in, ball 4, and a 2-out walk for Caleb Hoover, and he is aboard for the first time today and the first time this season. A 2-out walk for the DH.
Definitely not the end of the world, though. If you're Strickland, you still have 1 out. You have a runner at first. It's not in scoring position. Just need a hit. Just need to get a fly out, strike out. Dallimore has struggled a bit with swings and misses today. 2 straight strikeouts in the second and the third.
First and second for the man who will be going to TCU come the fall. First pitch, fastball at 90, missing away, and the pitcher, Strickland, lost the cap on the hill on the follow-through, has to pick it up and reapply it on the head.
5 straight pitches out of his zone For Strickland, really struggling with controlling an inning that's just going longer and longer.
Santa Barbara has regained the lead, 4-3 the score after conceding 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Can they bring home at least one more? 1-0 pitch is a slider down and away. Ball 2, and Strickland struggling to find the zone. No one up in the bullpen down the left field line for Conejo.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that no one's starting to get going. Maybe we're going to get some movement very soon, though.
Infield playing straight away. First baseman holding on to Caleb Hoover. Great count for Dallimore. Here's the pitch as the 2-0 is chopped outside of third base. Strike 1.
Good thing that went foul. If it stayed there, that was going straight to the third baseman.
Sawyer Farr remains at third. Hoover is at first. The second game of the season for Santa Barbara, the third of the year for Conejo. The second CCL game, it is worth noting, for the Oaks. Played a non-CCL game late last week against the Coastal Dodgers. But the 2-1, Dallimore is going to miss away on a fastball. Big slide over to his right. Galloway, the catcher, keeping the runners at bay. Ball 3.
Good play defensively by Galloway. He's had a couple of nice defensive plays over the course of the game. That one definitely probably saved the run.
Farr's got wheels at third base. Infield playing a double play depth. The runner at first takes off, and that is going to be ball 4. Dallimore works a walk. First time he is aboard today, and back-to-back walks given up by the Aussie Max Strickland to load up the bases. Already a run in, but now the batter will be the lefty, Brenton Clark. And here comes David Solis, the manager, out of the third base dugout for Conejo.
I think he's just trying to buy his guys some time here to get some arms up and movement in the bullpen. You don't see anyone going right now, though.
Looks looking pretty casual down there, down that left field line.
I know. I'm a little surprised to see that. Although, yeah, they're going to send a catcher over and another pitcher. That might be looks to be number 1, Charlie Decker, that could be heading over. The lefty. As bases loaded here, brings up the Stars hitter, Brenton Clark, who's done a really solid job under pressure, I would say. Got the first hit of his season last night. Also can draw a walk. And with the way Max Strickland is locating the ball, I would not be surprised if Clark just holds up and doesn't swing on the first pitch.
Here's the first pitch, and the fastball will miss down and down for ball 1. In this inning, 2 hits, 2 walks, a run in. Stars leading 4-3. Brenton Clark has gone 0 for 2 today. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball at 90, missing high and away, not even close to the zone, ball 2.
I mean, feeling eerily similar to the bottom of the 4th inning where, I think it was a very similar stat line for Andrews. 2 hits, 2 walks, run come across the plate.
Yes, very similar to the last inning with Tag Andrews, the Santa Barbara pitcher. Here's the 2-0, and it's going to be a balk being called. It's going to bring home a run. So a balk to bring home the 5th run of this game for Santa Barbara. Sawyer Farr scores on the balk from third, Hoover to third base, and Dallimore to second.
That's absolutely brutal for Strickland. I don't think the Foresters will complain about that one. Now you regain your 2-run advantage that you held entering the 4th inning.
Here's the 2-0 pitch, and the fastball misses in, ball 3, and Strickland has walked the last 2 batters and falls behind 3-0. Just had a balk to score a run, and Brenton Clark ahead 3-0.
And there's still no one warming up in that bullpen. I'm really surprised from Conejo.
Here's the pitch, and they just called another balk. It's bringing home another run. The second balk of this inning for Max Strickland brings home Caleb Hoover. The score is now 6-3. Dallimore at second advances to third base. He was just about to throw his next pitch, and it remains 3-0 to Brenton Clark. 6-3 now the Stir lead.
This might just be Strickland's inexperience showing. Won't be graduating high school until next year. Really unfortunate for the righty.
Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be down ball 4. 3 straight walks, 2 balks thrown in there. So with those 2 walks and also 2 hits, the Stars, 3 runs in this 5th inning. Fantastic response, though, from Santa Barbara, conceding 2 runs in the 4th. Lead by 3.
It's certainly not pretty, but you'll take the 3-run lead. Give your pitching staff some room here against a talented Oaks lineup.
Battle will now be Easton Ruley. Here's the pitch. Fastball high and in. He has to move back away from it. It's ball 1.
Really impressive day so far. Got a hit his first time through the order.
Infield playing straight away. With 2 out, the 1-0 pitch is down in the dirt. Great grab by Galloway on the fastball that was in the other batter's box.
I mean, it has to be said, I think Galloway has saved a couple of runs defensively behind the dish. And that's just to be expected from a guy who, is entering his senior year at Texas A&M. Very solid catcher at USC before then.
Top of the 5th inning, Sturs lead by 3, 2-0. Is a breaking ball missing high for ball 3.
Strickland just can't buy a strike right now. Can't remember the last time he's found the zone.
Ruley is the 8th batter of this inning for Santa Barbara. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that one's down the middle of fastball to get Strickland back in the count. Remember, runners are on the corners. Delamore is at third. Clark is at first, and with Ruley at the plate, the 4th straight batter standing in the box with 2 out in this inning. Runner from first goes, but it's going to miss inside on a fastball for ball 4. So 4 straight walks by Max Strickland. And the base is once again loaded with 2 outs in the 5th. And Strickland taking a deep breath from the backside of the hill. And now he was going to face Grant Madrid Murray, the 9th batter of this inning for Santa Barbara. It's been quite casual down that bullpen, down the left field line. Not too much urgency as Strickland fires the first pitch upstairs, ball 1.
Same place as the pitch before it, just high, forces the catcher Galloway to stand up. Just needs one pitch. That's what you have to be going through your head right now.
3 runs in for Santa Barbara, 6-3 the score. 1-0. Fastball missing well high. That is ball 2.
I'm a little surprised Galloway hasn't walked over and talked and given him a little just words of encouragement.
At third is Delamore. At second, Clark. Ruley is at first, all reaching on walks. 2-0. Fastball will miss high. That's ball 3. And Madrid Murray stands in, currently 1 for 2. Has a run scored, which came in the 2nd. Strickland comes set. Right-hander, and the 3-0 is going to miss down for ball 4. It's going to be 5 straight walks given up by Max Strickland, and the Sturs bring home the 7th run of the day, their 4th of the inning. And that they have worked their way all the way around the order. Back to Makani Nabarro, who led off this inning. He stands in with the bases loaded. 2 out. Started this inning with a base hit. Stole a base and scored a run.
And a little pause here to give some time to talk. Buys the reliever in the bullpen some time to warm up. And yeah, that'll be Strickland's day. Solis venturing out of his dugout. I'm pretty sure that has to be Strickland's final batter face, right?
I believe so. And it looks like they're going to be ushering down to the left field bullpen, and there will be a pitching change. The Sturs have brought in 4 runs in this inning, and they now lead 7-3 in the top of the 5th inning over Conejo. Back on the campus of Cal Lutheran. The new arm entering for Conejo will be Damon Villa, who takes over from Max Strickland, who recorded 2 outs in the 5th inning. The Sturs, 2 hits along with 5 walks, all of them coming in order in this 5th inning. They now lead 7-3 over the Conejo Oaks.
Yeah, a couple of those runs coming via bulks as well. Just really tough for Strickland. But you go from a guy who wasn't as experienced to a guy in Damon Villa who is pretty experienced, played with the Oaks last summer, appeared in 9 games, mostly as a reliever. College ball over at Moore Park. Also spent some time at Oxnard.
And the inning started with Nabarro, and he now stands in with the bases loaded. 2 out for the 2nd time this frame. Here's the pitch. Fouls off an 83-mile-an-hour pitch. Up and out of play over the 3rd base dugout. Nabarro is 2 for 2. He had a double in the 2nd base hit in this inning. He has scored 2 runs. And at 3rd base is Clark Rulli. At 2nd, Madrid Murray at 1st, all reaching base on balls. Damon Villa winds up the 0-1 pitch. And it's going to be a breaking ball missing away, 1-1.
Good job holding up by Nabarro. Keep the momentum going. Keep on passing the bats. Keep the bases loaded. That's is the aim here for the Foresters and allow some runs to come across the plate.
Nabarro, the 10th man to stand in this inning. The 1-1 pitch slicing down the left field line. That ball is fair. 1 run in, looking for 2, maybe looking for 3, but it's going to be a 2-run single for Makani Nabarro. He is now 3 for 3, and he has drove in 2 now. What a day for the left fielder.
Way to send it into the opposite field. That was not what the Oaks were expecting. Allows for a couple of runs to come across the plate. Just dropped. It was a couple of feet away from drifting foul, but just stayed inside. Great job by Nabarro. We know he has some speed over there at first. Would not be surprised to see him take off.
6th run of this inning, and Santa Barbara now lead 9-3 in the 5th inning, and that's going to bring up Maddox Mandino as Damon Villa has runners on the corners with the first pitch down and past the 2nd baseman into right field. Mandino brings home the man at 3rd base. The play down at 3rd is safe, and Santa Barbara now lead 10-3, and their 7th run of this inning now scored off the barrel of Mandino.
Clutch piece of hitting from Maddox Mandino. Something I feel like we've said a lot. Whenever there are runners in scoring positions, you can almost count on Mandino getting them home. Keeps the inning going. Runners at the corners.
And Nabarro, who was at first, got all the way down to 3rd base. There was a play down over there, but now here's Sawyer Farr, first pitch. High fly ball into center, left center field, and Jonathan Smith, man who camps out in center field, moves over and makes the squeeze, but the damage has sure been done. 7 runs in the 5th inning, and Santa Barbara going to the bottom of the 5th, lead 10-3 over the reigning CCL state champions, the Conejo Oak Sturs, by 7.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a 3rd-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back from 1,000 Oaks, California, Santa Barbara now lead 10-3 over the Conejo Oaks. And Josh Heineman, who entered in relief for Tag Andrews, had quite a long wait in that first base dugout after the Sturs put up 7 runs in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and I think we were kind of drawing the similarities between the bottom of the 4th with Tag Andrews and the top of the 5th with Max Strickland. The difference was, though, when the reliever came in for the Oaks and Villa, he wasn't able to get out of a jam. Josh Hyman was, and I think that's just really crucial. Now Hyman working with a clean slate, nobody on, nobody out.
Heineman will be facing 5, 6, 7. Wilkes, Stillwell, Johnson scheduled, and for Conejo, a gut shot in the top half of this inning. They just tied it up in the last, put up 2 runs in the 4th, but concede 7. Top half of this inning, and Devin Wilkes, who's gone 0 for 2 today, will lead off. Ground out to first, ground out to second. Josh Heineman now faces second batter of his outing. And here comes the pitch. It's going to be a breaking ball, missing down for ball 1.
Wilkes, the DH, has some serious pop on that bat. Hit 11 home runs his senior year of high school.
Here comes the 1-0. That fastball, 2-hopper, took a funny hop towards the shortstop, Sawyer Farr, and it bounces past his glove. That ball skipped in a couple different directions and just skips over his glove after he moved to his right, had to shift back to his left, and then it gets through. A lot of weird bounces there.
That was that was a very weird bounce. I mean, Sawyer Farr is about as good as it gets defensively. We saw him make some great plays over at second base last night, some solid plays at short today. I'm blaming that one on the bounce. That was definitely not, I was very much out of Farr's control.
It's going to go down as a base hit for Wilkes to start off the bottom of the 5th. That's going to bring up Stillwell. Here's the pitch, and at 84 miles an hour, it finds the upper half of the zone. Strike 1.
Good job by Heineman to just clip the top part.
Man at first, and a throw over to the man at first base is Brady Dallimore, first baseman for the Sturs, holds on to him. Stillwell today, he's gone 1 for 1. Base hit in the left, worked a walk, and has scored. Scored one of the 3 runs for the Oaks. Sturs lead by 7. Here's the 0-1, slider missing away. Good slide from Grant Madrid Murray.
It was really, Stillwell was really the guy that kind of set the tone, worked the walk in the 4th inning. It was one of the 2 runs that came across the plate. Allowed that rally to get going.
To fall Stillwell will be Nate Johnson, but Santa Barbara in full command of this ball game. We'll still have one more game tomorrow before their first off day this season. 1-1 pitch in our right center field. It's falling quickly. It's in the gap, and Mandino tracks after it, the center fielder, but going for 2 is Stillwell, and from first base, stopping at third is Wilkes. It's going to be second and third, nobody out, and back-to-back hits for Conejo in the bottom of the 5th.
Great response. Extra bases here for Nate Johnson. 2 in scoring position, nobody out. You got the open base at first. Do you take it? I don't know.
So Wilkes now at third, Stillwell at second, and Josh Heineman, the reliever for the Santa Barbara Forsters. No double play intact with first base open. Giving up 2 hits to start off this inning, and Nate Johnson, who's gone 1 for 2. A chance to cut into the 7-run Conejo deficit. Here's the pitch. Fastball blazes past him, swing and a miss. At 89, strike 1 on Johnson.
Johnson playing his college ball over in New Orleans at Tulane. Hit a tick below 200, but has got some solid power on his bat.
Second and third, nobody out. Heineman looking to dig deep, working from the first base side of the hill. Holds from the belt. 0-1 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-2.
Really liked what Heineman just did there. Take a couple extra seconds. Bit of a mind game with the batter Johnson. It's not just the game that's actually on the field going on. It's the mental one as well.
Absolutely. 2-on. The 0-2 pitch is popped up on the infield. Muma moves in, calls off the pitcher, and makes the squeeze, inducing the pop-up on the infield to record the first out of the inning, and a big first out with that for Heineman. And the runners hold at second and third.
I think Heineman really wanted to make a play there
Yes,
as
he
the
did.
pitcher, but Muma was like, come on now, I'll wave you off. Let me do this. This is what we can do. And yeah, just great communication there. We've seen a bit of communication errors earlier today. Slowly getting fixed as the game and season goes on.
Infield playing straight away in the battle will now be Isaac Veal. One out in second and third for Conejo. Here's the pitch. Fastball's in there, strike one. Santa Barbara looking to hold on to the 7-run lead, not giving any momentum back to Conejo after putting up 7 runs, top half of the 5th. And the breeze continues to blow out towards right field, cutting across the park, left to right, pole to pole. And very nice surroundings here at Cal Lutheran. The 0-1 is a slider down. Good cover by Madrid Murray. He's been doing fantastic today.
Yeah, he's really done a good job of not allowing the balls to get past the backstop, especially, with some of the pitchers for the Foresters struggling with their location. That one just missing for Heineman.
Wilkes remains at third for the Oaks. Stillwell at second, but 1 out. Here comes the 1-1. Looks like the fastball, strike 2, inducing the swing from Isaac Veal. And there's been an arm up down the right field line for Santa Barbara tossing. Imagine it is J.D. Goodcase, who we were told was the third man out of the bullpen today after A.J. Crodell got the start, went 3 innings. It was 3 straight Santa Barbara Gauchos pitching going back to yesterday. Now the 1-2 pitch, the slider's fouled off over the first base dugout. Remains 1-2.
Veal, not a guy you want to get on. Perfect 9 for 9 in stolen bases this past year with Westmont College.
And interesting to note, no Westmont players on the roster this year for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Westmont, a local Santa Barbara college, as the 1-2 pitch is in there. Cold strike 3, just clipping the upper half of the zone on a breaking ball. Veal goes down looking for strikeout of the day for Josh Heineman.
Good job there, getting him on the strike looking. Excuse me. Great stuff for Heineman. Something that you want to see with 2 on. You got 2 straight outs. Way to handle the pressure here from the tall righty.
Looks to finish it with Ethan Gonzalez, the nine-hole hitter. Here's the first pitch, is popped up and out of play over the stands down the first base side. And is strike 1, and after Heineman entered in the 4th with the bases loaded, 2 out, came in, took care of business, retired Brady Hewitt, gave up 2 hits to start off this 5th inning. Runners at second and third, then take care of business against the next 2. Wants to keep it a 7-run advantage for his team. Here's the 0-1. Slider is down in the dirt. Check swing and a no swing on the appeal down to the first base umpire. 1-1.
Yeah, Heineman's done a good job of bouncing back here. Someone who maybe does it better with some adversity, some pressure on him. Obviously came in bases loaded, got the final out last inning. Now with 2 on, has gotten 2 straight outs. Good stuff from the 6'4" righty.
Here comes the 1-1 to Gonzalez. Popped up and out of play, nearly a carbon copy of the first pitch. So that is strike 2 as it goes down the first baseline out of play. And Gonzalez today is 1 for 2. He struck out swinging an infield single in the 4th. Came around to score the 3rd run of the ball game for Conejo, as they do trail by 7 runs, 10-3 the score. And Heineman, 1 good pitch from keeping it that score line. Runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. Fastball is away, 2-2.
Just a little outside. Extend the zone a little bit, but, not biting from Gonzalez.
Do not want to bring around the top of the order. Start the 6th with the top 3. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball is down and in, full count to Ethan Gonzalez. Lucas Daniel Wicks does stand on deck down the third baseline, I should say, on the third base side of the park.
Do have the base open here. It's not the end of the world if you walk Gonzalez.
Wilkes still remains at third. At second is Stillwell. 2 out. Heineman has retired 2 straight. Looks for 3. Payoff pitch on the ground to the second baseman. Rulli ranges over to his left, and the throw will be in time. Josh Heineman gives up 2 hits to start off the 5th. It was second and third. Nobody out. Retires the next 3 as we head to the 6th. Santa Barbara still lead 10-3 over Conejo.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back on the campus of Cal Lutheran, coming to the plate is Easton Muma, Hoover, and then Dallimore. That is 3-4-5 schedule for Santa Barbara. They lead by 7. Here comes the first pitch. It's going to be a breaking ball missing down and in with Damon Villa remaining in the ball game after Santa Barbara pushed home 7 runs in the last inning.
Yeah, and Villa came in with 2 outs, and why he will not be responsible for these runs, gave up 3 runs.
Here comes the next pitch, and it's in there on a breaking ball 1-1 to Muma.
Including a couple hits that he gave up with 2 outs. I mean, just came in with the pressure and wasn't able to handle it, unlike Josh Hyman, who got out of a couple 2-out jams in back-to-back innings.
Here's the next pitch, and it's going to miss away on a changeup 1-1 to Easton, who's gone 2 for 3, has brought home a run. Both of his hits singles today. Here comes a 2-1 offering. Fastball missing high and away, ball 3. And 12 batters came around in the last inning for Santa Barbara.
It was an absolute onslaught, Hunter.
Couple hits, but here comes the next pitch, and it's going to miss down and for ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Santa Barbara. And in that last inning, Nate, 5 straight walks to go along with 4 hits.
Yeah, and they started off this inning with a walk. I'm sure some of the Oaks faithful are feeling a little deja vu right now in the top of the 6th. Tough to start off with a leadoff walk. Let's see how Villa responds here against Caleb Hoover.
Man at first, nobody out. Here's the pitch, and it's going to miss away. It looked like the fastball from Villa. Now, this is ball 1. Hoover today, he's 0 for 2. Did work a walk in the last inning. Actually came around to score on a balk. Here's the 1-0. It's going to miss upstairs for ball 2. So a walk to start off this inning for Easton Muma, and Hoover now ahead 2-0 against Damon Villa.
Galloway tried to just drag it down a bit into the zone, but the ump wasn't having any of it.
Conejo did win yesterday over the Philippines baseball group. Check back to the man at first base. He's in safely. It was a 4-2 win for Conejo. They picked up their first CCL win of the year, their second win overall in the Philippines baseball group. A new addition. CCL South has an affiliate. Here's the next pitch, and the fastball will miss away at belt height to Hoover. Ball 3. And you said it may be a little deja vu it's feeling after the leadoff walk, and now Hoover had 3-0.
Tough to see if you're the pitching coach for the Oats, Scott Rodansky.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. Hoover sees a fastball well high, wasn't close to the zone. Back-to-back walks given up by Damon Villa.
Yeah, really tough for Villa. Back-to-back walks. It is definitely feeling like deja vu as the pitcher in the bullpen kind of picking up his routine a bit. Radinsky, the pitching coach for the Oaks, very impressive resume. Played in the majors, coached of a couple of minor league teams as well, mostly in the Dodgers and Guardians organization. Spent some time with the Oaks organization from like 21 to 23. It took the off year where they did win the title. Comes back here in 25 where his pitching staff struggling a lot today, especially with their location.
The batter will be Brady Dallimore. The starter today, Val Castro, went 4 innings, did not give up a walk. But since the 4th inning, 7 walks by Santa Barbara against Conejo pitching. So it's first and second, nobody out, Stars leading 10-3. Here's the first pitch. It's going to be a slider in there for a strike, 0-1.
Massive. Massive for Villa to find the zone on the first pitch, especially on a breaking ball. If you can locate those breaking balls, that can really build up some confidence on the mound.
Dallimore, first 2 times up, he struck out, did work a walk in the last. The 0-1 goes right back to the same pitch, but will miss inside this time. 1-1 for Villa. At first base is Hoover. Muma at second. This game was broken open in the last inning with 7 runs by the Stars. Here is the 1-1. There's that slider again, 1-2.
A 5th inning that we estimate went around 40 to 45 minutes. And we're only just in the top of the 6th, and it has already been 2 hours into the game.
Look back to second base for the right-handed reliever, Damon Villa. Couple looks. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Breaking ball is tapped right back to the hill. Fielding off 2 hops is the pitcher Villa, and will retire Brady Dallimore. But it's a productive out, essentially a sacrifice to advance Muma to third and Hoover to second.
It's a little surprised to see Villa not go over to second, but you can't fault him going for the easy out. He's trusting his stuff. He's saying, hey, look, I can get out of his jam if I need to. He knew that he was going to allow 2 runners in scoring position. But still, I don't know, man. This is still feeling like some deja vu here at Sparky Anderson Field.
Batter will now be Brenton Clark, the number 6 batter for the Stars this afternoon. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a slider missing away, ball 1. Muma now at third, Hoover to second. 1 away in the 6th. Again, the lead is 7 for Santa Barbara, 10-3 our score. Clark worked a walk in the last and scored. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball this time, missing away, ball 2.
Exact same spot. I do like going to the breaking ball early, as I said, the previous at-bat, but haven't found the zone on back-to-back pitches. Maybe it's time you go back to the heat.
See what he does here, 2-0. It's a fastball, and it's lined straight to the shortstop. Can they double him up? It's a foot race to second base, and they do. Brady Hewitt caught the line out the shortstop. Caleb Hoover was about a third of the way to third base at second base, and it was a foot race between the shortstop and Caleb Hoover, and it turns into a double play. The line out by Brenton Clark, double up Hoover at second, and Damon Villa, after giving up 2 walks, gets out of the inning unscathed as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Santa Barbara leading 10-3 over Conejo.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
back in the campus of Cal Lutheran rather. Sparky Anderson Field. Santa Barbara leading 10-3 over the Conejo Oaks. And remaining on the hill, the reliever Josh Heineman got himself, came in relief with the bases loaded. Found some traffic behind him in the last inning, gets out of the inning unscathed, and the Foresters still leading 10-3 over the Oaks. Heineman will be facing the top of the order, and here is Lucas Danielwicks to lead off this inning. The first pitch will be a fastball missing down and in. That's ball one.
Yeah, Heineman started off the previous inning, got himself into a jam, 2 straight walks, got out of it in a really convincing manner.
Comes the 1-0 pitch. And in the left center field, it's well hit. Navarro going back. It's at the wall. It's into the gap. Big wide turn at first base into second. He goes in standing, and it's a lead-off double for Lucas Danielwicks. He is now picks up his second hit of the day.
Danielwicks struggled to started off his day with a K, but that's back-to-back hits here for the leadoff man. Good to see him, if you're the Oaks, to pick up where others may have left off, and now you bring up Galloway, a dangerous hitter, as we mentioned. He had a hit last time out as well. Excuse me, a walk. Had a hit in the first inning. Scored the first run of the game.
10-3 the score. Santa Barbara on top. Man at second after the leadoff double. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a fastball in there for strike. And Josh Heineman, quite an eventful day on the hill. He entered in the fourth after Tag Andrews ran into some trouble. Came in with the bases loaded. Recorded the out you needed to. Give up 2 hits to start the fifth. Runners were at second and third. Nobody out. Retire the next 3. Here's the 0-1. Lifted into center field. Maddox Mandino drifts back the center fielder. Makes the squeeze and tagging up at third, but then putting on the brakes after a great throw by Mandino. Holds the runner at second base. So Galloway the fly out into center, and a great throw by Maddox keeps Danielwicks at second.
Mandino over at Louisiana Lafayette is a 2-way player. Pitcher as well. That time flashing the arm. Holds up the runner at second. Great play by the center fielder.
And we mentioned Mandino and Bill Pintard. A lot of praise for Maddox. Says he's fearless out there in the outfield, and casually jokes saying, well, you get on the hill for me this season too. But here comes the first pitch to Smith. It's fouled off towards the first base dugout for a strike.
The way this pitching staff has been playing so far for the Foresters, you might not need to. They've been pretty impressive. Only given up 3 runs for the first 2 games of the season.
Heineman has his first look at Jonathan Smith, the 9th batter that Josh will face in his outing. And at second, 1 out, Sturs by 7 runs. With a longer hold this time for Heineman, he'll now disengage. Means nothing in 1 for Jonathan Smith, who has gone 1 for 2 today, but has brought home 2 runs along with a walk. Infield playing straight away, as is the outfield. Look back to second for Josh. 0-1 pitch is a fastball missing high and away. Evens the count at 1.
Really like how Heineman just kind of plays the timing of things. He really likes to take his time. Quite a contrast to some of the other pitchers we've seen for the Foresters. Thinking of guys like Frank Camarillo who really want to speed it up. Heineman takes his time on the mound.
And it's interesting to see different cadences and rhythm the different pitchers use and what they like. Play down to second base, and the ball will be thrown to the center field as Sawyer Farr, the shortstop, was trying to hold on to Danielwicks on attempted pickoff, but the runner does hold at second base, no problem, even though it did. The throw was wide with the shortstop into center field.
Yeah, Danielwicks knew not to test the arm of Mandino
Yes.
after that previous out.
It remains 1-1 for Jonathan Smith, who has had a very nice start to his CCL season with Conejo. Went 1 for 2 yesterday. He's 1 for 2 currently with 2 runs batted in. 1-1 is a big swing, just fouling it off the end of the bat, off into the glove of Grant Madrid Murray. There's a fastball high for Heineman. 1-2.
Yeah, Smith, very solid over at San Diego State. Hits above 300, showcased some pop as well with 3 home runs and 11 doubles.
1 out in the inning. Sturs leading 10-3 Bottom of the 6th. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Heineman. It's going to be a breaking ball, missing down and away. 2-2.
Really like that from Heineman. Thought it found a good spot, kind of where he wanted it. Madrid Murray behind the dish pointed out to him saying, that's a good pitch. I like what you did there. Let's keep it up here on the 2-2.
Heineman coming set from the belt. Look back to second base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses away at 88. Did not miss by much.
Another really good spot for Heineman, just getting a little unlucky here against Smith.
Heineman finished up his season with Crowder CC, located in Missouri, junior college. Smith has battled back. The count now full. Couple looks back to second base for the relief arm. Here's the pitch, and it's a big hopper over to the first baseman. Dallimore fielded himself and trots over and touches first base. It is a productive out for Jonathan Smith. Advances the runner at second to third base, but Smith will be retired. 2 out and the 6th.
But Heineman's been here before. Runner on third with 2 outs. He's gotten out of it both times previously. Now against the Oaks 4-hole hitter Brady Hewitt. Can he do it again?
And it is worth noting Josh Heineman has played with the Foresters in the past 2023 season. So 2 years ago, Heineman was under the stewardship of Bill Pintard and coming back to the Foresters this summer. Here's the first pitch. It's lifted up and out of play over the first base dugout off the bat of Brady Hewitt. Strike number 1. And you look at Sturs that are returning this season. Jackson Cloud, who we've been yet to see on the top pitchers last year. Frank Camarillo pitched yesterday. Aston Klepsch playing for Auburn will be coming in shortly once that season is finished. Heineman on the hill. But with 2 out, man still at third. Here's the 0-1. It's going to be a slider missing down and away to even the count at 1. And also, Jesse DiMaggio, who's not on the current active roster but has been hitting BP at Santa Barbara High School, got injured late in the season with Westmont College, played last year. Rehabbing, getting himself back healthy. Here's the 1-1. Fastball's in there for a strike, ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think that's just really a testament to the culture that is in Santa Barbara with the Stars. You know, college coaches and players know what Bill Pintard has built over the years, and it's a desirable place to play your summer ball.
Heineman looks to get out of this inning. The strike 2 pitch is in there. Called strike 3 on the fastball. Yet again, Heineman working around a leadoff double. Next 3 retired. And a nice stroll back to the first base dugout. We go to the 7th. Sturs leading 10-3 over the Oaks. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Back at Sparky Anderson Field, the Santa Barbara Foresters retain their 7-run lead. They lead 10-3. What a ball game it has been. Conejo struck first in the opening inning. Sturs came back with 3 runs in the second. Became a tied game through 4, but 7 runs in the 5th for Santa Barbara as they lead by 7 to start off the 7th inning. Here comes the first pitch to Easton Ruley. He chops the slider down the third baseline. That ball's foul. Good play from Nate Johnson trying to field it just on the foul ground behind third base, but it will be strike one to Easton.
Really, so far, pretty impressive day. Started off his day with the first hit of the day for Santa Barbara. Past year at Central Arizona, hit around 400, an OPS above 1,000. Is a dangerous base runner, too.
Scored 2 runs today. Here's the 0-1. Lines it into center field, drifting into the gap, and it falls for a base hit. Easton Ruley picks up his second hit of the day, along with a walk. Fantastic stuff from the second baseman.
Way to show out in front of the hometown crowd. Calls Newbury Park home, just a couple of miles away from Sparky Anderson Field. Definitely has a good support section down the first base line.
Shadows starting to creep onto the playing surface from the press box with the sun setting towards more behind the third base on deck circle. But here comes the first pitch now to Grant Madrid Murray. It's going to be a slider missing down and away for ball one. As Grant, the catcher, getting his first action of the summer, making the most of it. He's gone 1 for 2 with a walk, and he has scored 2 runs today. Here comes the 1-0. It's going to be a breaking ball missing inside. That is ball 2.
Yeah, Madrid Murray, I'm sure a guy that Pintard kind of got to get familiar with last summer, played for the Ventura County Pirates last year, one of the affiliate programs of the CCL.
Man at first, nobody out. There goes the runner. The 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike. The throw down. It looks like they got him. No, safe. Sliding in safely is Easton Ruley. He's got 2 stolen bases, 2 runs, and 2 hits today.
A lot of twos there, Hunter. I mean, Ruley, very solid base runner, as we mentioned. 22 stolen bases this past spring. Tacking on 2 more into the summer here for the Sturs.
I'll add on to it. He scored on an E2 on a throw down to the outfield that got away. But here's a fly ball in the center field off the bat of Grant Madrid Murray as the 2-1 pitch is sent into center field. Madrid Murray will be a fly-out victim for the first out, and the runner will hold at second. That is Ruley.
Brings up a guy who, if you're the Forsters, based on how he's playing today, a guy who you want to see up. Couple of hits so far for Nabarro. One of the guys who's from the Santa Barbara area, goes to Cuesta College, went to Dunn School for his high school days.
Man, at second, 1 out. Sturs leading 10-3, top of 7. Some gamesmanship off of second base. There goes the runner. Will miss away. The throw down to third base. It's close. They got him at third. Ruley took off from second. Caught stealing at third. He was shimmying and shaking off of second base before Damon Villa attempted to throw home.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Jacob Galloway, very quick to throw that one to third, almost like he knew it was coming.
Good play from the catcher today for Conejo, but now 2 gone. Here's the 1-0 as the breaking ball will miss down and in. Check down to the third base umpire. If there's a swing, no. So Nabarro ahead in the count 2-0. He was gone 3 for 3 today. McConney's got a double in the second. He's brought home 2 runs. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the ground outside of first base, foul. It was a worm burner. But what a day for Nabarro, 3 for 3. 2 runs scored and 2 runs batted in.
Great to see for Nabarro, a guy who kind of was a later addition to the roster. Really proving his place here for Pintard's side.
2-1 pitch lined into center field, and it falls for a base hit. McConney Nabarro, 4 for 4, having himself a day out of the 9 spot. What a performance from number 7.
Just a great day for Nabarro. Have to be really pleased with your performance, and have to be really pleased if you're Pintard to see your 9-hole hitter having a great day at the bat. You know, that's a guy that's really crucial, and that can be a little underrated at times for someone who can spur on runs and rallies for the top of the order to take advantage of.
Throw over to the man who just got to first base as Maddox Mandino, the left-handed bat, stands in for the 5th time today. He has gone 2 for 4, brought home 3 runs. Here's the pitch. And it looks like the changeup missing away for ball 1. When you look at the lineup for the Sturs today, 7 of the 9 have plated a run. The other 2, Muma and Mandino, have at least brought in 1 run. So everyone has contributed in this lineup. As the 1-0 pitch, High fly ball into right center field. Daniel Wicks moves over, called off by the center fielder, and it is Jonathan Smith, the center fielder, to make the squeeze in the gap to retire the side. A pair of hits for the Sturs, but they come up empty. Bottom of the 7th we go. Sturs lead by 7. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Santa Barbara remain on top 10-3 over Conejo. And Josh Heineman, who entered in the 4th, remains on the hill. He's going to face 5, 6, and 7 for the Conejo Oaks, with the sun setting beyond the third base dugout. Shadow's getting a little bit longer here. Here comes the first pitch. It's on the ground in the hole. Tough play for Farr, and it's going to get through into left field. And a leadoff single for Devin Wilkes, his 2nd of the day.
3 straight leadoff hits given up by Josh Heineman. And while that might usually be a room for, something to be concerned about, I think, the big thing is he still is able to get out of these jams. He's yet to allow a run since he entered in the 4th, despite, having runners on scoring position so many times.
And that's going to bring him Caden Stillwell. He will stand in for the 4th time. He's 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Here's the pitch. Missing well high on off speed. That is ball 1.
Good job by Madrid Murray to prevent that one from going to the backstop.
And we have seen J.D. Goodcase down the right field line tossing. He was selected to be the 3rd pitcher to be used today for Santa Barbara. See if they can get Heineman through the 7th. Here's the next pitch, and it's on the outside corner at 87 for a strike, 1-1.
Good job to find the zone there after the leadoff ball.
Wind still blowing out towards right field. Going pole to pole, left to right. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Good delivery from Josh.
Great off speed. Tough swing and miss there for Stillwell, who was definitely sitting the fastball from Heineman.
Third baseman Muma has pinched in a fraction. 2 middle infielders at double play depth. The first baseman holds on to the runner at first. 1-2 pitch, chopped high up the middle. Farr comes in, touches second base to first base in time to turn 2, 6-3 on the double play. 2 out and the base is clear.
Another double play involving Sawyer Farr. His defense has been quite impressive to start the season. Makes sense. Was a highly touted shortstop recruit. Top 10 nationally as a prospect in that position. Top 70 overall.
And it was interesting, too. We saw Farr at second base yesterday.
Also listed as an outfielder in the roster.
Go figure. Here's the first pitch, an off-speed missing upstairs to Nate Johnson. That will be ball 1.
But that versatility from Farr is something that's really valuable for Pintar to make sense why he's relied on him so heavily to start the season.
Looked very comfortable on the defensive end as the next pitch is fouled off. Grant Madrid Murray, the catcher, Looked like Nate Johnson swung right through it, and that threw off Madrid Murray and took that one down low. He's okay. It's 1-1. Bases clear, 2 out. Sturs still leading 10-3. Bottom of 7. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got all knotted up at 73 on the breaking ball from Josh Heineman. Strike 2.
Johnson, very impressive plate discipline this past season for Tulane, where he plays his college ball. 24 walks to 22 strikeouts.
2 out. The strike 2 pitch. Breaking ball is drilled in right center field. Mandino, no chance. It falls in front of the center fielder. And a 2-out knock for Nate Johnson. And he has his second hit of the day. And that's the 11th hit for Conejo. But on the other hand, the Sturs have 11 hits, yet they lead by 7. All those walks that were given up.
Yeah, I mean, you just really got to take advantage of when you have runners on. And the real difference has been, Heineman has given up a few hits here, but he's been able to, tighten up, get some crucial outs, while the pitching staff for the Oaks hasn't been able to do the same. And that's really the difference here.
Mm-hmm. Both teams with 11 hits, but +7 in the run column for Santa Barbara. Here's the first pitch, up and out of play for Veal. Actually into right field, and drifting over is Brenton Clark. And Clark comfortably out in the right field lawn will make the squeeze. 1 pitch from Heineman, and Isaac Veal is retired for the 4th time this ball game. Pair of hits for Josh Heineman, but no problem, a double play, and the side retired. We go to the 8th. Sturs lead by 7.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
The Santa Barbara Foresters leading the Conejo Oaks 10-3 as we head to the 8th. A couple changes being made defensively for Conejo. Luke Cesares will now on the hill defensively, now catching Anthony Thomas as Sawyer Farr, the switch hitter, at the plate. First pitch to Sawyer, big swing and a miss through the fastball at 91 for strike 1. It's going to be Sawyer, Easton Muma, and then Caleb Hoover coming up for the Sturs to face the new right-hander, Cesares. There's the 0-1, and it's another fastball missing away this time. Ball and a strike.
Yeah, Cesares, big righty, 6'5", 230. Went to quite a solid high school program in Sierra Canyon, of course, very famous athletic program nationally.
It's at a 1-1 count to the leadoff man, Farr. Here's a delivery, and lined in right field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. Sawyer Farr picks up his second knock of the day. Had his last one in the 5th, and it's a leadoff single for the Sturs, and that is their 12th hit of the day.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there. Start picking up where the others have left off. Leadoff man on for the Sturs. Said that a few times in a row now.
Indeed, we have leadoff single in the 7th. Leadoff man got aboard on the 6th with a walk. Leadoff single in the 5th. Great work by the leadoff men today. Here's the first pitch now, missing high and away at 92 to Easton Mumma. That's ball 1.
Mumma, very impressive day. Has had a few hits for the Foresters.
Infield playing straight away. Shadows continuing to get a little bit longer as the 1-0 pitch on the ground left side. It gets past the third baseman. No, it was gloved on the backhand, but no throw. It was a heck of an effort from Nate Johnson diving toward third base. Initially, it looked like that ball scuttled past his glove, but he stopped it, but no throw to first. It'll be an infield single for Easton Mumma. He's got his 3rd hit of the day along with a walk, make it 3 for 4, a run batted in, and also reaching base on balls.
Very possible. I mean, great defensive play from Johnson. He's had a couple today, and I definitely think that saved an extra base hit. It very could have well been 2 runners in scoring possession, and still got 1 runners on first and second, double play ball in effect here.
Batter will be Caleb Hoover. Here's the first pitch. Big swing and a miss. Fans on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball, strike 1. Caleb today, he's gone 0 for 2. Pair of strikeouts, but after those 2 Ks, worked a walk in the 5th and in the 6th. Can the Sturs tack on more runs? They lead 10-3. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball spoiled over the third base dugout, slicing into the Cal Lutheran Academic Complex. Strike 2 on Caleb.
Hoover recently committed to play some college ball at South Carolina after a very productive season with Grayson College, JUCO.
Has to protect the plate behind 0-2. Can he advance Mumma at first, far at second? Cesares comes set from the first base side of the hill. The 0-2. Curveball missing inside for ball 1. Remember, we did note yesterday, if you tuned into our broadcast yesterday in Orange County, Hoover had a broken hand in the middle of April when he took a fastball around 95 in on the hands, broke his hand. He hasn't been taking live ABs in really 7 weeks, so he's starting to heat up. Here's the 0-2. The 1-2 as the runner takes off from second to third. It's a stolen base for Sawyer Farr. Will slide into third safely, and the count now 2-2 to Caleb.
Aggressive base running pays off again. Galloway was prepared for the last time the Sturs attempted a steal on third. Not that time.
First and second, nobody out. First and third, rather. Here's the 2-2. Fastball will miss high, full count.
Way to work your way back into the count from Caleb Hoover. I'm sure the pitcher Cesares is feeling a little bit of pressure with a runner just 90 feet away from extending the lead.
Count full, nobody out. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball missing down and away. A check swing from Hoover. Great take from Caleb. And he's worked now 3 straight walks. Good stuff from the DH, getting on base.
Yeah, I mean, this is his first live ABs in a couple of weeks, as you mentioned, after the broken hand. And while he hasn't yet to get a hit for the Foresters, has done a really good job working counts, makes sense, got on base half the time at Grayson College this past season.
So the base is loaded. Sturs leading 10-3, nobody out. Here comes the first pitch, high and in. Look out to Dallimore. He leans his way back in that big 6'4" frame, right around 230. Just graduated high school. He's got a chance to bring home his first run batted in of the season. The base is loaded, nobody out. Here's the 1-0. Fastball's fouled directly behind home plate into the screen. 1-1.
Looked like a really good pitch to get a base hit on right there, and he was very close to turning it, just a little late and a little under it.
Far at third, Mumma at second, Hoover at first. Infield back, double play depth. 1-1 pitch. Slider missing down and away. Ball 2.
Now, despite Dallimore being one of the less experienced guys, someone who's yet to play college ball, I've been really impressed with his approach at the plate. Really done a good job taking some close pitches. Could have been called a strike, but he held strong and got the ball called.
Cesares comes set in his first inning of work. 2-1 pitch is fouled back and looks like he actually off the helmet of Dallimore. He takes the bucket off, readjusts the hair, puts the helmet back on. 2-2. To follow Brady will be Brenton Clark. Easton Ruley will then follow Clark. With the first 3 men all reaching base, 2 via hits. Now 13 on the day for the Sturs, and along with a walk. 6:38 local time. Sturs lead by 7. 2-2 pitch is fouled off over the first base dugout. Remains 2-2. There's another fastball from Cesares.
Yeah, really liking that pitch. He's been sticking consistent with it. I don't know, maybe it has been working a little well for him so far. He's got 3 on. 2-2, you have a pitch to give here. Might as well give it a little off speed, low and away, and try and get the swing and miss.
We'll see what he throws. Dalmore today has gone 0 for 3 with a walk. Has scored a run. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. There it was. Looked like the slider. Swing and a miss. One out in the 8th.
Gonna be that guy, but yeah, that was a off-speed, low and away to get the swing and miss on the 2-2. More than happy to take Venmo donations for that correct call.
That will bring up the right fielder, Brenton Clark, number 6 batter. He's gone 0 for 3. Worked a walk. Has scored a run. Base is still loaded. 1 out on the board. We are in the top of the 8th inning. Cesares, the first pitch at 91, will miss down. Ball 1. In case you're wondering, Conejo, bottom half of the 8th, have 9, 1, and 2 scheduled to face likely J.D. Goodcase, who has been up down that right field bullpen for quite some time after Josh Heineman entered in the 4th and has pitched the Sturs through the 7th. Here comes the 1-0 to Clark. Fastball away at belt height, 2-0.
Yeah, Cesares just wrapped up his freshman season at Los Angeles Valley College. One of a few players from that school on the Oaks roster. One of the few pitchers, in fact.
Can Santa Barbara, after tacking on 7 in the 5th inning, tack on a couple more? They lead by 7. 2-0 pitch at 89 will miss high and away. That's ball 4. And remember, they're joining us late in the 5th inning. The Sturs had 5 straight walks. Some tough pitching from Conejo. Couldn't find the zone. En route to a 7 spot on the scoreboard. The base is loaded, only a single out. Here comes a 3-0 pitch to Brenton Clark. That's away at 88. Ball 4. Clark's going to bring home a run, his second walk of the day. He's going to score Sawyer Farr at 3rd. And it's now 11-3, the score at Sparky Anderson Field.
I mean, yeah, it's just a part of, you know, the college ball experience where you just see some situations like this where guys get the bases loaded and, yeah, they will walk in a run. It just happens. You got to bounce back. You know, you're just a double play away from getting out of the inning.
Here is Ruley. First pitch is nubbed towards the first baseman, fields it and flips it to the pitcher. It's going to bring home a second run of this inning. Well done by Easton Ruley to bring home the second run of the inning. Easton Muma will score from third base on the ground out. Will go down 3-1. But 2 runs brought in, and it's now 12-3 in the top of the 8th.
I felt like it could have been a double play ball, but they decided to play it safe. It's a couple times now where we see the Oaks have the option to go and try to force a double play, but they just want to get the easier out. Of course, the run comes across the plate, but you go from an 8-run game to a 9-run game. Not ideal situation to be in for the Oaks.
Now at the plate, Madrid Murray. Second and third, 2 out. First pitch up in the air down the right field line, slicing on top of the Forster dugout down that first baseline. Strike 1 on Grant. He's gone 1 for 3. Worked a walk and scored 2 runs for Santa Barbara. 12 runs in the first column on the scoreboard for the Sturs this afternoon after yesterday.
And that's something that we talked about before the game is how, you know, maybe the pitching staff did its job last night. The lineup took some time to show up. Now it's definitely shown up. 13 hits, 12 runs. Great day for the offense, and it could continue.
Here comes the second pitch, swing and a miss at 89. That's strike 2 on Madrid Murray. Hoover's at third. Clark is at second. Should Grant reach, Makani Nabarro stands on deck. And Luke Cesares entered this inning fresh, gave up first 3 men to reach base. Here's the next pitch, swing and a miss. Grant Madrid Murray goes down chasing the slider. Second strikeout of the inning for Luke Cesars, but the Sturs bring home 2 more runs. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Santa Barbara leading 12-3 over Conejo.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Now into the bottom of the 8th inning. Brand new arm entering for the Sturs. J.D. Goodcase will take over after Josh Heineman, a fantastic 3 1/3 innings pitch in relief, taking over for Tag Andrews. And J.D. will start off the 8th inning. He's going to face 9-1-2 coming up in this inning for Conejo. Here's the first pitch at 88, and it's going to miss away for ball 1. We will have a pinch hitter in the 9 spot. Hawley will hit for Ethan Gonzalez, who went 1 for 3 today. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. And it looked like the cutter missing away, ball 2.
Yeah, J.D. Goodcase on the mound here for Santa Barbara. 6'3" righty. Plays his college ball at the University of San Diego.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch to the leadoff man, and Hawley. We'll see a fastball missing down and away. That is ball 3. You have to give such a big applause to Josh Heineman with what he did today. 3 1/3 in relief after A.J. Crodell. UCSB Gaucho started off this game going 3. Sturs lead 12-3. Here's a 3-0 pitch, and going to clip the outside edge at 88. 3-1.
Yeah, Hawley, a guy who has some CCL experience as well, played last summer in the North Division for the Sonoma Stompers.
Bats from the right side, 3-1 offering. That's going to be down low. Fastball missing, ball 4, and a leadoff walk for the Conejo Oaks to begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Santa Barbara able to push in 2 more runs in the top half of the frame.
Yeah, good case for the Toreros this past season. Gives up the leadoff walk there, but shown improvement from his freshman to his sophomore season. Had an ERA around 6.75 as a freshman. This past year, 5.63.
In good case, getting some summer work with Santa Barbara. He is the 4th pitcher to be used today, 3rd man in relief. He's going to face top man Lucas Danielwicks. Now here's the pitch. Some fastball missing away, ball 1. Danielwicks today, he's gone 2 for 4. A double into center. And a base hit into right. Man at first, nobody out. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball into center field, and Maddox Mandina will move in and will make the catch for the first down. It was a pinch hitter at the top, I should say, in the number 1 spot for the Conejo Oaks.
Yeah, Henry Borjas just hits that one. Pretty easy play for Mandino to make there. And now we'll bring in the 4-hole hitter, Anthony Thomas.
Thomas to hit for the first time today after he took over defensively for Jacob Galloway. Man at first, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Missing upstairs at 85 for J.D. Goodcase. That is going to be ball 1.
Thomas, Colorado Christian University, playing for the Oaks here. Listed as a catcher.
1-0. Off speed may have been the changeup, taking a few miles an hour off of it. That's going to miss down and away for ball 2. And the Santa Barbara Foresters will be cruising here in the 8th and into the 9th, leading 12-3 over Conejo. 2-0 pitch. Fastball, big rip. Swing and a miss for Anthony Thomas. 2-1.
And I mean, it has to be said, this is a very successful start to the road trip for Santa Barbara. You know, you go up against 2 tough competition. You start the road against the Riptide, who you had a losing record against last year, and against the Oaks, who won the league.
There's the next pitch. 83-mile-an-hour fastball inducing the swing and miss. 2-2.
And you come in and you get a dominant pitching performance, a shutout against the Riptide last night. And here the offense comes to play. 12 runs on the board with potential to get more in the 9th. Really successful first 2 games so far from the Sturs.
And first 1 out. Here comes the 2-2 to Thomas. Missing high, full count from J.D. Goodcase in his first appearance on the season for the Sturs. But yes, ideal start to the season for Santa Barbara with the first 6 games on the road this year. Couldn't draw it up any better. The fantastic pitching and the offense coming alive with 13 hits today through 8 innings. 3-2 pitch is going to miss well wide at 79. It's going to be ball 4, a 1-out walk for Thomas.
Second walk conceded this evening for Goodcase. Plays his ball with the San Diego Toreros, who had a very exciting end to the season. Ended their regular season on a 10-game winning streak to clinch the WCC season title, regular season title. Really exciting stuff if you're a Torero fan. Maybe something to build on. As in fact, we're going to get a little, a talk up on the mound for Goodcase. As mentioned, gave up 2 walks of the first 3 batters faced.
And it's going to be the new pitching coach this year for the Sturs, Scott Murray. Last year, pitching coach Ryan Kramer, who picked up a nice gig with the Campbell Camels over on the East Coast. So Scott Murray, just a quick conversation. He'll stroll back to the first base dugout, and very deep and fantastic coaching staff for the Sturs this season. Really, most years for Bill Pintard.
Loves to keep it consistent as well. A lot of the same guys that we've seen over the years. Of course, Shuck lining it up at third base. Joey Holgen at first base, and then still rocking with Brian Aguiar as the bench and bullpen coach.
It's going to be first and second for Conejo, 1 away. Sturs leading 12-3, bottom of 8. Goodcase will be facing Jonathan Smith, who has gone 1 for 3 today. He's brought home 2 runs. Look back to second. Here's the pitch. Fastball will be missing away at the knees. That's ball 1.
Tough miss there for Goodcase. It looked like a very solid pitch to me, but just misses the zone.
Ollie at second. Thomas at first for Conejo. Coming set from the belt. Smith looked back to second. 1-0 delivery. Breaking ball is up and out of play over the third base dugout. On top of the cover, which protects all those fans and sitting down the third baseline. Nice sunshade with the sun setting beyond the third base dugout. It's where True West is located here from where we face at Sparky Anderson Field, and the shadows from the press box creeping on towards home plate. Here comes the 1-1 from Goodcase to Smith. Fastball is in there. No, it missed away. That's going to be ball 2.
Yeah, another tough miss. Goodcase, I feel like he's been doing a good job of, getting around the zone, but the ump doesn't think so.
12-3 the score. Santa Barbara on top. The last runs for Conejo came in the 4th inning when they put up 2. They have first and second, 1 out. Here's a 2-1 pitch as the changeup will miss away. That's ball 3.
Another tough miss.
To follow Smith will be Brady Hewitt. Stands on deck. But Smith, who bats from the left side against the right-handed pitcher, J.D. Goodcase. Couple waggles through the zone. Relatively open stance. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball, full count.
Smith knew he was going to go after him. Just couldn't get time up and absolutely whiffs at that heater from Goodcase.
Goodcase. Presenting himself on the hill, comes set, gets the pitch selection, looks to second. And here comes a 3-2 delivery. On the ground to the first baseman, fielding it is Dalmore. A little bit of a bobble, and he cannot make the play. Knocked it down, could not corral it. And the bases will be loaded for Conejo. That's going to go down as an E3 on the first baseman.
Yeah, Dalmore, usually you find him behind the dish at the catcher position. But he's made some nice plays over there at first base. That one really unfortunate. Maybe a bit of a lapse of judgment as this game drags on, approaching the 3-hour mark in the 8th inning.
Dalmore was able to knock it down, just couldn't recover. Fielded it right in front of the first base bag after he knocked it down. But here comes the first pitch, and it's up the middle, and it will get past Sawyer Farr, the shortstop, into center field for a base hit. 1 run in, 2 runs come in off the bat of Brady Hewitt. 2-run single into center field for Conejo, and they played their first 2 runs since the 4th. Sturs still lead on by 7 runs, 12-5 now the score.
That's getting some life into this Oaks crowd. Some cheers coming out from the left side of the plate. Bring in a new player in Devin Wilkes back up to the plate here. Looking to take advantage of 2 on and just 1 out.
Wilkes today has gone 2 for 4. Man at first, man at second, only a single out. Goodcase looks to second. Here's the pitch. It's going to miss away for ball 1. Looked like the changeup missing down for ball 1. Wilkes, the last 2 times he has stood in, collected base hits. Look back to second again. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball is in there to even the count at 1.
Yeah, pitcher up and kind of getting a little light tossing in the bullpen for Santa Barbara. That's Darren Orlando, who, if Goodcase continues to use to dig himself into a hole, Orlando might have to relieve him of as the inning drags on.
First and second, 1 out. Goodcase. 1-1 pitch is off the end of the bat, outside of third base. And Devin Wilkes now finds himself behind in the count 1-2. Santa Barbara, their bullpen typically, when you look at what they do season in and season out, if you're able to chase the starter with your bats, you go into your bullpen, you're usually in a pretty good case. A good situation. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball located outside of the zone. And Wilkes goes down swinging. 2 out in the 8th.
Good bounce back there for Goodcase. Got himself into a bit of a hole here. He's given up a couple of runs, but bounces back. Good out there.
It's going to bring up Caden Stillwell. Still first and second, 2 outs. Sturs leading 12-5. 2 runs in this inning for Conejo. Coming set from the belt in the middle of the hill. Goodcase. First pitch to Stillwell. Going to be a slider in there for a strike. 0-1.
Goodcase, very prolific high school career as well. Was the Tri-Valley Pitcher of the Year in 2021 at St. Bonaventure Catholic High School over in Ventura.
Not too far from Santa Barbara High School where we play. The Foresters, which will be kicking off their home season next week. They lead by 7. Long stare down to second base. The 0-1 pitch from Goodcase will miss high. Ball 1. And that first game will be next Friday, 4:30 start time against the Philippines baseball group, who actually were here yesterday and lost to the Conejo Oaks, the reigning the CCL state champions yesterday. 4-2 scoreline in favor of the Oaks. Runner hops off of second base, forcing Goodcase to disengage Jonathan Smith. Little gamesmanship off of the second base bag. As we approach 7 o'clock local time, thanks for sticking with us throughout this game. I know we said it yesterday, but a lot of these players from Texas and different time zones, appreciate you making us part of your Saturday evening. Here's the 1-1. Is going to miss inside. The batter Stillwell turns away from it, and that's ball 2.
Yeah, I mean, of course, going to be back on the road tomorrow in Compton against the MLB Youth Academy. Off day, and then you're on the road for 3 more days. Really tough start for the Foresters, but they're making the most of it so far.
2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball located low in the zone, 2-2. And Stillwell today, he's had a pretty nice day at the plate. He's gone 2 for 3. Did ground into a double play last time he stood in. He's worked a walk and scored a run. First and second, 2 out. And Goodcase looks to end this inning. 2-2 pitch, runners go. It's going to miss down. The play down to third base. The throw was on the dugout side of the third base bag, so a double steal. And Smith in to third and Hewitt to second. And the count now full for Caden Stillwell.
Double steal, taking a little page out of the Foresters book. Jonathan Smith was showing that the entire AB definitely got in Goodcase's head that time.
So first base now open. Nate Johnson would be next. But Goodcase looks to take care of business right here. The pitch lifted in a shallow center field. Mandino moves over and makes the catch as that ball was slicing in towards center field. And Stillwell retired, and a pair stranded on the bases, but 2 come in for Conejo. This is a 7-run game headed to the 9th. Sturs lead 12-5 over the Conejo Oaks.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
We head to the 9th inning of the second game of the season for the Santa Barbara Foresters, and they lead 12-5. 2 runs were tacked on by Conejo in the 8th, but we will have a pitching change. A man who is in the field, Caden Stillwell, is going to face 9-1-2 for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Here comes the first pitch, and it's going to be in there on the delivery to Liam Keithley, who will record his first AB of the day after entering defensively for the left fielder Makani Nabarro.
Stillwell is a guy that's listed as a 2-way player and actually working very fast. That one low for ball 1, excuse me. But it's, yeah, two-way player over at Ventura College. Got a couple of some action last season.
And he was at first base, but now the 1-1 pitch is popped up in a shallow center. Long run for Jonathan Smith, the center fielder, makes the catch on a run to retire Liam Keithley in his first plate appearance of the day, 1 out in the 9th.
Jonathan Smith, showcasing some of his speed there. Stole a bag last time out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now here in the top of the 9th, hustles over and makes a great play in center to get the first out. That will bring up Maddox Mandino. The leadoff hitter will take that one in the zone for strike 1.
A couple defensive changes, actually quite a few rather, for Conejo. Devin Wilkes was the DH now at first base. Here's the 0-1. Drive in the right field. It's drawing and foul. That ball had the distance, but did not have the correct distance. I should say the correct angle. But that will be strike 2 on Maddox Mandino, who has gone 2 for 5 today, standing in for the 6th time in this ball game. Nice launch on that last pitch. Here's the 0-2 on the ground, left side towards the shortstop range into his right. Hewitt, nice play, but the throw was high and safe at first base is Maddox Mandino.
There in a flash, showcasing some speed. It was a tough throw to make, but he had to throw it quick in order to beat the run from Mandino, and it was an infield single right there for the Foresters. Great play by Mandino.
Maddox picks up his 3rd knock. He's now 3 for 6. And that's going to bring up Sawyer Farr, the switch hitter, to bat from the left side against the right-handed pitcher, so to speak. Caden Stillwell was at first base. Here's the pitch, and fastball is in there at the knees for a strike against Sawyer. 0-1. Sawyer has scored 2 runs today, and the Stars again leading 12-5. Comfortable lead. They're going to be facing the bottom 3 in the order against Conejo. Johnson, Veal, and Hawley. Here's the next pitch. It's going to miss at 87, down and in. 1-1.
Farr has done a great job in both games and showcasing his ability on offense and on defense. Has gotten on base a few times today.
Mandino at first. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. All knotted up. Farr dropping to a knee, but he went around. He was trying to keep the barrel back, but the body was moving around, and it was strike 2.
Giving the fans a show there on that track check swing. That was quite dramatic, Hunter.
It was a pretzel. And at first, 1 out. Stars by 7. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the ground to the first baseman, but it's outside of first. It is foul. That ball, Mandino likely might have been waved home. At least easily have gotten a 3rd. If that ball was fair, would have rolled all the way down into the corner.
Yeah, with his speed, he could easily make it from first to home on a hit like that into the outfield.
Shadows have gotten longer. Some of the foul poles. And the poles hanging up the screen that surrounds the infield, extending onto the playing surface on this picture-perfect day. Thousand Oaks, but now the 1-2 pitch. Missed it 79 high and away to Sawyer Farr. 2-2.
When we got here, Hunter, really, this table that we're sitting at was the only one in the shade, it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's all cooled down. A shade surrounds the ballpark.
2-2 to Farr. And he fouls it back off a fastball directly behind home plate, halfway up the screen. And Santa Barbara with their 12-5 lead. We are in the top of the 9th inning. They will be on the road tomorrow, the 3rd straight game at the MLB Academy. 105 first pitch against the Academy Barons. And first off day will be on Monday. Here comes the 2-2 to Sawyer Farr. Here's the pitch. And a drive into right field. And a one-hopper over the head of the right fielder, Henry Borjas. And from first base, Mandino will hold up at 3rd base. And Farr's going to 3rd base as well. A late play to home. Sliding in safely is Mandino, and now Farr's going to be coming in on an errant throw, and just like that, it's going to be a Little League home run for Sawyer Farr. 2 runs in, and Santa Barbara have tacked on to their lead. It's now 14-5.
Mandino was just more than happy to stay at third there, but Sawyer Farr said, I wanted that and then some. Kept on running through. Mandino was like, all right, I guess I have to go home. And then that forced an errant throw allowed Mandino to run on through past home plate and Sawyer Farr to advance to get the Little League home run just like that. 9-run game once again, Hunter.
And Mandino, as you said, stopped up at third. Farr took a massive turn. I should say, took a massive turn.
He was ready to just keep on going, I think. I don't think he cared what Mandino was doing.
Here's the first pitch now to Muma. That's going to miss away at 73 from Stillwell. That's going to be ball one, so it's now 14-5. As far as coming home on an errant throw. 1-0 pitch is a fastball into the gap in left center field, and Muma picks up another hit, his fourth of the day, and he's going to hold up at first. And Easton Muma, fourth hit of the day, has brought home a run along with a walk. Fantastic stuff from essentially everyone in the lineup for the Sturs.
I mean, yeah, I said at the top of the broadcast, you want your lineup to show up today. They did that and then some. 16 hits, 14 runs, drawn a lot of walks. Just it feels like they've gone on base basically every single time. Every player's gone on base for like the past 5 innings, it feels like.
First pitch to Caleb Hoover is going to miss away for ball one. Caden Stillwell was a position player earlier today. Getting in some trouble with 1 out. Here's the 1-0 pitch and slicing out a play down the left field line off the barrel of Hoover, who in his last 3 plate appearances has worked a walk. He is 0 for 2 after 2 strikeouts in the first and third. But the last 3 men all collecting hits for the Sturs. This is now 14-5 in the top of the 9th. Here's the 1-1. And a slider's going to miss down ball 2. No, it's going to be a called strike. 1-2.
Maybe I just want to hit the parking lot call there from the ump.
Brady Dallimore is scheduled next. Man at first, 1 out. 2 runs in for Santa Barbara. 1-2 pitch. Swing and just tapping it foul at 79 off the delivery from Stillwell was Caleb Hoover. Just able to get a piece of it. 1-2.
Job reaching down by Hoover to just tap the bat on it, force it to go foul, and prevent yourself from becoming a strikeout victim once again. He's already struck out twice today.
1-2 pitch to Hoover, and it's on the ground to the second baseman. That is Nate Johnson, flips to second base. The throw to first will be in time on the 4-6-3 double play. But Santa Barbara tack on 2 more runs in the 9th. Mandino was brought home on a extra base hit by Sawyer Farr, who scores with a Little League home run in the 9th. We head to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara leading 14-5, 3 outs away from picking up their second win of the year.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
The Santa Barbara Foresters, they lead 14-5. When you look at the scoreboard, 16 hits for the Sturs and 12 for the home team, the Conejo Oaks. They have 4 less hits, but they have 9 less runs for the Foresters. As J.D. Goodcase, the right-hander, remains on the hill. He entered in the last inning in relief. He looks to finish off this game. He's going to face the bottom 3 in the order, Nate Johnson. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball missing high and away. That is ball 1.
Yeah, as you said, a complete performance. The offense hasn't been that bad it's been actually pretty good. What am I saying for Caloof? And they just got themselves into a couple of 2-out situations with runners on, and the pitching staff, specifically Josh Hyman, really shut things down, got, clutch pitches and got clutch outs. And that's the reason why this game isn't much closer.
Here comes the third pitch. It's now 2-0. And it's going to skip in on a fastball for ball 3. So 3-0 to the leadoff man, Nate Johnson, who today has gone 2 for 4. Isaac Veal and then Tyler Hawley will be next to finish off this ball game as JD Goodcase does fall behind 3-0. And you look to tomorrow, the Sturs will have another great arm on the hill to get the start. But Goodcase looks to fire a strike after 3 straight balls. Here's the pitch, and it's going to clip the inside half of the zone on a fastball. 0-1. Actually, say 3-1 to the leadoff man. Here's the pitch, and it's soiled off of the third base dugout. That will be strike 2, count now full, and good work from Goodcase, who fell behind 3-0.
Yeah, way to work yourself back into the count. If you're Goodcase, struggled a bit with walks last inning, walked the leadoff man that time, 3-2 pitch here.
Here's the delivery, up and out of play over the third base dugout, slicing foul. And just moves beyond the third base dugout here. That's Sparky Anderson Field. And the Sturs on this 6-game road trip will be facing Conejo on Wednesday. They'll be right back here in just a couple days' time. MLB Academy Barons tomorrow. We'll also face them on Thursday, which will be the 6th game of their first 6 games on the road. 3-2 pitch to the leadoff man to lead off the 9th inning, and he's hit on his left ankle. So Nate Johnson is aboard, a hit batter. Would have been ball 4 regardless, but Johnson aboard for the 3rd time today, and this hit batter is brought to us by Alta Orthopedic.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
That's going to bring up Isaac Veal. He's gone 0 for 4, but the leadoff man aboard. Sturs a comfortable 14-5 lead now in the bottom of the 9th. The pitch, high fly ball. The lob wedge down the left field line, sliding over is Liam Keithley on the chalk line and makes the squeeze. 1 out in the 9th.
Keithley gets put into the game on offense and comes in on defense and makes a very solid play. He's pretty used to this field as well. Plays his college ball for the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen.
Man, at first 1 out, the Sturs looking for 2 more outs to move to 2-0 this early season. Tyler Hawley, bat for the 2nd time today, worked a walk. First time up, actually the first batter that JD faced in his relief appearance back in the 8th inning, just the last inning. Here's the pitch. Popped up down the left field line into foul ground, long run, but that ball will drift and draw out of play. No chance for Muma, the third baseman, nor Liam Keithley out in left.
Yeah, no, tomorrow the Foresters are taking on the MLB Youth Academy Barons, who are 1-0 this season, play the Saints tonight. First pitch happened just over an hour ago against the Saints.
Strike 1 pitch will miss upstairs on a breaking ball that did not break from JD. 1-1.
That was a close game as well in their first win against the Bombers, 6-5 for the Barons.
1-1. It's fouled back into the screen. That's strike 2. And the Bombers have done pretty good to start this season as an affiliate. When you look back, the Bombers took down OC Riptide in their season opener 7-3. And the Riptide starting off 0-2. Of course, losing the Foresters last night. And OC made it to the divisional series last year before Conejo knocked them out.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, as well, it's just a really tough start to the schedule for Santa Barbara, but they've handled it and then some. Very convincing wins both last night and tonight.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, lifted down the first baseline. The first baseman, Dallimore, camps out under it and will make the catch. The second baseman, Rulli, was right there next to him, but it was the 6'4" frame of Dallimore to make the squeeze in foul ground. And the Conejo Oaks down to their final out this evening.
Heads up play by Rulli not to run into his first baseman in Dallimore. I mean, the sun is shining bright. That's a tough play to make over at first base, but great job by Dallimore to make the grab.
Here comes Borjas back to the top of the order. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a slider away. That's going to be ball one. So a man at first and Oaks down to their final out. And very interesting game. 16 hits for the Sturs, 12 for the Oaks, but 14-5 the score. Santa Barbara leads. The 1-0 pitch. It's going to be missing away on a fastball, ball two, but the walks really just shot Conejo in the foot in the middle of the game.
Absolutely, and that is just the difference because both bats have been really hot. 16 hits, as you mentioned, for the Sturs, 12 for the Oaks. It's just the difference is the Santa Barbara just drew way more walks.
The seven runs in the fifth inning as the 2-0 pitch is fouled back. It was a fastball again from JD, halfway up the screen behind home plate for strike one, but
I do think that's, it kind of has to partially be blamed on Conejo for really not being as active in the bullpen. There's been pretty consistent of Forrester warming up and being there was just a soft toss to the catcher. But I can't say the same for Conejo. It's been an empty bullpen for almost half the game, despite getting themselves into trouble oftentimes. That one will miss the zone 3-1 from Good Case.
So Borjas in his second plate appearance. He's 0 for 1 after a fly out to center. He's ahead in the count 3-1. Man at first. Just looking for a ground ball, looking for one more out. Here's the pitch, and it's going to miss upstairs. It's a 2-out walk to continue the ball game for the Conejo Oaks. Henry Borjas, the Oxnard native, able to continue this ball game to bring up Anthony Thomas. There are a lot of changes being made in this game by their manager, David Solis. A number of changes defensively. Of course, you have in the ninth inning, Caden Stillwell was the first baseman pitching for Conejo. But it will be Thomas. His first plate appearance worked a walk, came around to score. And at first and second, 2 out in the ninth. Sturs lead 14-5. Here's the pitch. Fastball is going to miss low, ball one.
Yeah, Thomas, the lefty from Fallbrook, California, just in San Diego County. Plays his college ball over at Grossmont.
Good Case looking for one more out as Josh Heineman in line for the victory after a fantastic 3 1/3 in relief. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's going to miss high. Looked like Good Case tried to go to the slider. That's going to be ball two. Good Case came in relief in the eighth after A.J. Crodell, the starter, went 3 innings. UCSB Gaucho. First and second, 2 out. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Thomas, and it's fouled back. It's the fastball from Good Case. Back in the screen, halfway up. 2-1.
Aggressive swing from Thomas on the favorable count. Good call from the left-handed hitter.
And the sun continuing to get deeper beyond the third base dugout. The player's shadows extending quite a few yards, probably even like 10 yards, how low the sun is getting. Here's a 2-1. Popped up, and it's going to go back behind home plate. It's going to hit the top of the press box. You'll hear it. There it is. 2-1. 2-2 now.
Certainly heard that.
Conejo down to their final strike. Good Case looking to stamp off. Very interesting day on both sides of the plate for Santa Barbara. Here comes the 2-2 from JD. That is down. Full count. Third base is open. Just gave up a walk to Borjas, and Thomas, who's already worked a walk today, has got a full count.
He's really making sure everyone's getting their money worth here, extending it. Full count, 2 on. He's got the base open, though.
Sturs lead 14-5. 2 out, first and second. Here's the 3-2 pitch. On the ground off one hop to the second baseman. It's Easton Ruley, and there is our ball game with the throw being in time. The 4-3 ground out for Anthony Thomas, and the Santa Barbara Foresters win at 14-5. And one interesting ball game, of course. All the hits really for both sides, but the walks for Santa Barbara allow them to win 14-5 over Conejo and move to 2-0 in CCL play.
Yeah, you definitely have to be pretty happy with this performance if you're manager Bill Pintard. 16 hits, 14 runs, and, besides a couple of, rough innings from pitchers, a very solid performance on the mound. I do think, though, he's not going to be fully happy. I mean, only 2 hits last night against the Riptide. Tonight, gives up 12. Still a couple of things to address before tomorrow afternoon's game against the MLB Academy Barons.
And that first pitch will be at 1:05 local time. Be sure to tune into all the action right here on the Foresters YouTube channel. So for the entire team, the entire front office, for Nate Martin, I am Hunter Schmick saying so long from 1,000 Oaks. Foresters take it 14-5, move to 2-0 in CCL play. We'll see you tomorrow.